the first time, Suffolk Public Schools student musicians from 5 schools came together for the Suffolk Jazz Collective Masterclass, a one-day collaborative experience presented by the Center for Performing and Production Arts.
So we're here doing a first ever jazz masterclass for SIPA. The Center for Performing and Production Arts, we do lots of different masterclasses, but this is the first time we've had a jazz masterclass. And so with this one, instead of just making it available to SIPA students, I've decided it would be really advantageous to include all of the schools of Suffolk. So all of them were invited, and of the 3 high schools and the 5 middle schools, we ended up with 2 high schools and 3 middle schools being represented. So really we have 5 schools from Suffolk here with 36 students making a really incredible jazz band.
With 36 students representing 2 high schools and 3 middle schools, the event challenged young performers to master a demanding selection of jazz music in just one day.
Preparation for students was pretty intense. They had an opportunity to have one day. They started from 11 o'clock yesterday till about 5, and they got the music ahead of time, but they didn't have a lot of time to prepare with assessments going on. However, they took that time, got the music, looked over it, and we took a whole day from 11 to 5, and they, within a day and a half, prepared this wonderful piece. So the rigor was very intense, but the kids welcomed the opportunities.
More than a concert, the masterclass was an opportunity for students to grow in musicianship, teamwork, and confidence while performing at a high level alongside peers from across the division.
I think this is a good opportunity for the middle schoolers to, experience this masterclass. A lot of the high school programs have jazz ensembles and jazz groups, so they get to get a kind of a peek behind the curtain to see like what it may be to be a part of a jazz band or a jazz ensemble, and kind of just sit in and go through some repertoire and just kind of get that firsthand knowledge.
It's really, truly beautiful. It was a beautiful experience for everybody in there. I really love that the middle schoolers really put all the time and effort into it. When I was in middle school, I would not have done that. In high school, they gave us a lot of opportunities like that, and I'm glad that they let the middle schoolers come in with the high schoolers to learn and experience the higher level of music that they can get when they're in high school.
And so far, it has been amazing, and the kids have really risen up to the challenge.
I think the show was really nice. I think it shows a love for jazz that I haven't experienced in my time, so I appreciate that, and I loved it so much. The singers especially were very nice to hear, and I think, especially since they were so young, middle schoolers and high schoolers, that was very impressive, and I'm proud of them.
Those kids did amazing. They worked really well together. The teachers working with them too, phenomenal job, absolutely phenomenal.
Join Team SPS. Good morning.
My dad wears lots of hats. He's an awesome dad, a basketball star, and a CTE technology teacher at my high school.
You right. I'm also a basketball coach here too. I'm not just teaching technology. I'm helping students build confidence and a direction for their future.
Period. The best part of our day is after school. I'm in band and Dad coaches. We start our day together and we end it together. Join Team SPS where you can literally work with family.
And
all right, Coach, let's go. Give me 3. Join my dad at Team SPS.
I know. I was trying to time it. Why? We're going out tonight. No, you want to go out. No,
Hi, my name is Todd Kuklo. I'm a senior at Nance River High School. As seniors are preparing for their final stretch of their journey, what's one piece of advice that you can give to us?
Well, Ty, first of all, it's so good to meet you. I've heard great things about you. I also understand that you want to become a music teacher, so I'm going to have something for you in a couple of weeks. But speaking of all of that, it's really about seniors making great choices in these final couple of weeks. We've heard too many stories of some poor decisions that not only have impacted their ability to graduate, but have also impacted their future. So we want to make sure that everyone stays on the straight and narrow from now until graduation. Yes, spring break is right around the corner, and we have to make sure that everyone makes great choices from now until the end of the 25-26 school year. SOLs, they officially kick off in May. We need 100% attendance from both students and staff to make sure that everyone does their best. Make good choices. Let's keep our discipline numbers down. Make good choices. Make sure we don't have anything that occurs that impacts you finishing out the 25-26 school year strong.
Domri, you mind doing the pledge? All right. I'll be getting you all the time. Okay, let's see that. Thanks. And your lighting's bad too.
What'd you say?
Hey, I'm in the spotlight, man. It's hot too. They tell me about that too. People watching, man, your hair's shiny.
Okay. We got a couple of personnel announcements tonight.
Okay.
That's part of it. Two coordinators, English and student services.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. Are you high? I had him turn the light down. Are you good? Are you okay?
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our school board meeting tonight. I call this meeting to order. At this time, will you guys please stand and join me and everyone up here in the Pledge of Allegiance led by Dr. Brittenham. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, at this time, we're going to take a moment of silence. Thank you. At this time, I'm going to ask Board Member Fields, will she please read off the mission of Suffolk Public Schools?
The mission of Suffolk Public Schools is to produce 21st century learners that will become productive citizens in society, foster a dynamic, safe, and nurturing learning environment, partner with school communities for the benefit of students and staff, strengthen the school division by employing a high qualified and diverse staff, effectively and efficiently manage capital and human resources, effectively communicate to increase community investment.
Thank you, Board Member Fields. At this time, I'm going to turn the floor over to Dr. Gordon for a musical performance.
Thank you, Mr. McGee. Tonight we have our elementary school combined choir representing the Creekside Elementary School Gators and the Mac Ben Jr. Elementary School Marlins, directed by MLA Alexander and Jamie Hockaday. Please put your hands together to recognize these students.
Just like normal. 2 lines, just like normal. Okay.
They're a little nervous because usually we're much bigger than this, but it seems a majority of our group is stuck in traffic. So they're going to be great. Oh, lies.com.
Changing what you think you know. All Come on, let's go. Ooh, oh, oh. Let's go. Ooh, oh, oh, oh. Ooh, oh, oh. Let's go. Here in the space we occupy, transforming like a butterfly. We're taking on another form. You'll see, but don't expect the norm. Each one of us will play a part to build a larger work of art. Far beyond one-dimensional, we are exceptional, exceptional, exceptional. We're like a kaleidoscope, we're like a kaleidoscope, we're like a kaleidoscope. Whoa, whoa, and everyone that we know is all a part of the flow, and now we're ready to go. Whoa, whoa, just take a look and you'll see how beautiful we can be. We're so kinetic and free, yeah, it's you and me. We're like a kaleidoscope, we're like a kaleidoscope, we're like a kaleidoscope. Come on, let's go. Ooh, oh, oh, let's go. Ooh, oh, 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 oh. Ooh, oh, oh, let's go. Each time the scene rearranges, we feel the motion and changes. Our lives are going through stages. We want to shape the world that portrays us. Each time the scene rearranges, we feel the motion and changes. Our lives are going through changes. We want to shape the world that portrays us. One turn is all we're waiting for, to show you all we are and more, all we are and more. We're like a kaleidoscope, we're like a kaleidoscope, we're like a kaleidoscope. Ooh, oh, oh, and everyone that we know is all a part of the flow, and now we're ready to go. Ooh, oh, oh, just take a look and you'll see how beautiful we can be. We're so kinetic and free, yeah, that's you and me. We're like a kaleidoscope, we're like a kaleidoscope, we're like a kaleidoscope. Oh, oh, and every time you see again and you'll see us changing. Another vision is rearranging. Just keep on turning and churning, yeah. This is a generation, it's new creation. Let's go! You guys ready? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Good job. We got one more. Okay, you ready? Gently sleep starts on G, okay? If you look at my fingers, if you're crazy, okay? You got it. All right, here we go. Ready?
Thank you guys so much. Hey, great performance students. You guys sound amazing. Creekside, Mac Ben Jr., beautiful job, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, really fast, guys, before you leave, I was going to give the board an opportunity just to thank you guys for your... No problem. Before you leave, I wanted to give my colleagues opportunity just to give you guys a thanks real fast for coming out and performing tonight. And I'm going to start to my left with Board Member Fields.
I'd like to say thank you for your performance. Thank you for all the hard work that you put in to bring that performance to us, and keep working with it. It's your passion. If it's your passion, make it work. And everybody will see it. And everybody will enjoy it. Thank you. And thank you for your hard work.
I want to thank everyone for coming out and just giving us such a joyful rendition of the songs that you have learned, and you learned it well. And there was some that came in after the performance. Can you stand? Because you didn't get a chance to sing. The ones that came in after that was singing, let's give them a round of applause. And let's do something about this traffic. Thank you. Like Board Member Phil said, don't ever stop. You have a talent, and just allow it to grow and grow and grow. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Dr. Brittenham.
Miss Alexander and Miss Hockaday, I cannot thank you enough for blessing us tonight with these students' voices and musical talents. Students, keep on practicing. You have beautiful voices, and you did very well on those recorders. It was amazing to have you guys come and perform for us tonight. I look forward to seeing you in middle school and then in high school, and what the Lord has done to bless your abilities. Thank you.
So I just want to say thank you guys so much. That was so fun, and it takes great courage to get up here and to sing and to play, and you guys did an outstanding job. And I noticed, as a few of the late ones came in and joined in, you guys didn't even sweat. You just joined right in. It almost seemed as if you guys were meant to do that, and you sounded beautiful. So good job for being courageous and not flinching or sweating because you were coming in late. You guys did awesome, all of you. Thank you, and come see us again next year sometime, okay?
Vice Chair Howell.
Good evening. You guys are always the best part of our board meetings, so I'm thankful that you battled the traffic as I did, and you made it here. And I'm thankful for your teachers and the hard work that they put into this performance tonight. Guys, go and celebrate yourselves and your hard work.
All right, we're going to be moving on to recognize our honor grads. I'm going to turn the floor over to Dr. Gordon.
Thank you, Mr. McGee. Tonight, we actually have our honor grads that are here from Nansemond River High School. I've been informed that on the behalf of Dr. Green, proud principal of Nansemond River High School, that Dr. Michelle Bicey Lawrence will be the lead administrator to introduce all these warriors. I also understand that we have several of our student athletes that are at some games tonight, but we are happy that we've had so many that are able to show up here. Dr. Michelle Bicey Lawrence, I'll turn it over to you.
Good evening, Chairman McGee, Vice Chair Howell, other distinguished school board members, and our illustrious Superintendent, Dr. Gordon. I am Dr. Michelle Bicey Lawrence, and I have the privilege of being the Dean of Students at Nansemond River High School, where our principal is Dr. Sean Green. We are here today to recognize and celebrate the honor graduates of Nansemond River High School. I will now turn it over to our dynamic Director of Counseling, Ms. Kimberly Reed, to take us further.
Good evening, Dr. Gordon, Chairperson McGee, Vice Chair Howell, school board members, and all assembled. I am Kimberly Reed, School Counseling Director at the Nansemond River High School. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the honor graduates from the class of 2026. To date, we have 250 honor graduates, but we have the potential to have 275 graduates this year out of a class of 440. Nansemond River students have worked tirelessly to earn this academic achievement, in addition to their athletics, clubs, community service obligations, and activities. Our students have received hundreds of college acceptance letters and millions in scholarship offerings thus far. I'd like to mention that today, several students are absent due to various pre-scheduled athletic events and other obligations. While we understand the importance of academics, we also encourage our students to pursue their passions and commitments outside of the classroom, and we appreciate your understanding. Thank you for allowing us to showcase the best students in Suffolk Public Schools. Please welcome the Nansemond River High School class of 2026 honor graduates. Parents, as your students approach the podium, please stand so that we can give you a round of applause as well.
Good evening. My name is Chloe Aker. My parents are Audrey and Justin Perkins and Ashley and Daniel Aker. I am planning to attend George Mason University to major in mechanical engineering.
Hello, my name is Idris Archie. My parents are Nikki Graves and Victor Archie. I'm planning to attend Howard University and major in architecture.
Hello, my name is Ayana Bailey. My parents are Gary and Christina Bailey, and I plan to attend Howard University and major in biology pre-med.
Hello, my name is Gennaro Boyd. My parents are Rebecca Huffman and Eldon Lair, and for college I plan on going to ODU to get a bachelor's in civil engineering and then taking that to UVA for a master's in architecture.
Hello, I'm Jeremiah Broom. My parents are Janice and Saeed Broom. I plan to go to VSU and study for business administration.
My name is Joshua Cameron. My parents are Heather and Chad Cameron, and I will be attending UVA and pursuing a degree in mechanical engineering.
Hello, my name is Audrina Chu. My parents are Randy Kesey and Sean Chu, and I plan on going to a 4U university to study psychology.
Good evening, school board. My name is Kenneth Coleman III. My parents are Kenneth Coleman II and Shawanda Coleman. I plan on attending Hampton University studying music performance to become a teacher.
Hello, my name is Arcelia Conde. My parents are Melody Washington and Frankie Conde. I plan on attending Old Dominion University, and I'm majoring in dental hygiene.
Hello, my name is Andrew Cooper. My parents are Jen and Javon Cooper, and I plan on going to George Mason University for graphic arts and design. Hello, my name is Daniel Cooper, and my parents are Devon and Jennifer Cooper as well. I plan on going to VCU for mechanical engineering.
Hi, my name is Valencia Covington, and my parents are Michael and Latanya Covington, and I will be attending ODU to get my bachelor's in exercise science.
Hello, my name is Aurelia Day. My parents are Beata and Chris Day. I will be attending William & Mary, and I'll be double majoring in film and psychology.
My name is Marley Durden Walkup. My parents are Ashley Durden and Henry Walkup, and I plan on attending VCU to get my master's in pharmaceutical science and then getting my PhD.
Hi, my name is Maya Ellison, daughter of Yolinda Trott and Mario Ellison, and I plan to go to VCU to major in dental hygiene.
Hi, my name is Lene Ford. My parents are Ebony Holland and Lynn Ford, and I plan to go to NSU for nursing.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Gaines, and my parents are Nanette and Sean Gaines, and I plan to attend BMI to major in mechanical engineering.
Hi, my name is Lexi Gibbs. My parents are Victor Gibbs and Grace Gibbs, and I plan on going to Alfred University to study glass engineering.
Hi, my name is Kayla Grabinski. My parents are Carmen and Sione Pelotu and Brian Grabinski, and I'm going to James Madison University to get my bachelor's in kinesiology and then my master's through PA school.
Hi, my name is Andre Green. I am the son of Sidney Green, and I'll be attending North Carolina A&T State University and majoring in broadcasting and journalism.
Good evening. My name is Jordan Green, and my mom is Cindy Green, and I plan to go to North Carolina A&T State University to major in project engineering and attending the band.
Hello, my name is Lauren Harris. I'm the daughter of Eric and Frances Harris, and I will be attending Towson University to get, and I will be majoring in criminology.
Hello, my name is Brianna Hill, and my parents are Richard and Juliet Hill, and I plan to attend Tidewater Community College.
Hello, my name is Rachel Hodgson. My parents are Lisa and Carrie Hodgson, and I plan to go to Virginia Tech for engineering.
Hi, my name is Micaiah Johnson. My parents are Victor and Summer Johnson. I will be attending a 2-year college and majoring in kinesiology.
Hi, I'm Alessandra Jones. My parents are Alice and Jay Jones, and I'm attending Old Dominion University for marketing and a minor in psychology.
Hi, my name is Samara Jones. My parents are Lakeisha and Doc Watson Jones. I'll be attending James Madison University to major in engineering with the intent to become an aerospace engineer.
Good evening, school board. My name is Alvin Lee III. I'm the son of Jessica Allen, Alvin Lee Jr., and Lauren Lee. I plan on attending Christopher Newport and studying pre-law and eventually going to William & Mary to attain my law degree.
Hello, my name is Caitlin McLeod. My parents are Ricky McLeod Sr. and Opal McLeod. I plan on going to VCU to pursue environmental engineering.
Hi, my name is Brielle McGrath. My parents are Andrea and Jean McGrath, and I plan to go to ODU to study nursing.
Hello, I'm Simone McIver, daughter of Colin and Lisa McIver, and I plan to go to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University to study aerospace engineering.
My name is Mason Mills. My parents are Jason Mills and Terry Mills, and I plan on going to UVA to study biomedical engineering.
Hi, my name is William Monument. My parents are Andrew Monument and Jennifer Monument, and I plan to go to Hampton University to play football and major in psychology.
Good afternoon. My name is Jordan Nicholson, and I plan to go to ODU to major in mechanical engineering technologies with a minor in aerospace. My mother's name is Shalonda Williams.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Norbury, and my parents are Michael Norbury, and I plan on attending Virginia State University to major in political science.
Hello, I'm Lauren Parrish. My parents are Erica and Paul Parrish, and I plan on attending ODU with a major in communications and cinema and TV production.
Hello, my name is Ava Perez, daughter of Carrie Page and Noe Perez, and I plan on going to Mount Jacinto for majoring in finance.
Hi, my name is Morgan Pierce. My parents are Kia and Earl Pierce. I plan on attending North Carolina A&T to major in biology pre-med to become an orthodontist.
My name is Demetrius Price, son of Demetrius Price Sr. and Dana Neal. I will be attending Virginia Wesleyan University to pursue my bachelor's and master's in business administration.
Hi, my name is Camille Reed, and my parents are Kelvin and April Reed, and I will be attending Hampton University to pursue my master's degree in architecture.
Good evening. My name is Elenia Robinson, daughter of Ashley Robinson, and I will be attending ODU to pursue a degree in criminal justice.
Hello, my name is McKaylin Rose, daughter of Michael and Marcia Rose, and I will be attending University of Arkansas, where I will be majoring in apparel and product development.
Hi, my name is Aiden Schaefer. My parents are Nicholas Schaefer and Christine Park, and I plan on studying environmental sciences at the University of Colorado in Boulder.
Okay. My name is Tyler Silman. My parents are Aisha Coppage and Sean Silman, and I plan on going to Randolph-Macon College for biology.
All right.
Hi, my name is Gabriela Silvio. My parents are Jason and Jenna Silvio, and I plan on being a welder at the Newport News Shipyard.
Hello, my name is Jalen Smith. My parents are Angela and Lorenzo Smith, and I plan on going to Old Domain University to study environmental sciences.
Hi, my name is Carly Stublin Yanez. My parents are Diana Yanez, John Yanez, and Brian Stublin, and I am going to Savannah College of Art and Design to study production design.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Simborski. My parents are Darlene and Eric Simborski, and I plan on going to Johnson & Wales University to study nursing.
Hello, my name is Adrian Taylor. My mother is Danielle Keene Taylor, and I plan on going to Hampton University to major in mechanical engineering.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Bailey Thurman. My parents are Earl and Christine Thurman, and I will be going to VCU to study forensic science while on track for pre-med.
Good evening, my name is Logan Umflett, son of Miranda and Chris Umflett, and I plan on attending Old Dominion University for mechanical engineering with a minor in aerospace.
Hi, my name is Madison Veal. I plan to attend a four-year college to major in law and become a criminal lawyer. My mother's name is Yashika Edwards, and my father's name is Reginald Veal.
Hello, my name is Taylor Walker. I'm the daughter of Sharon and Tony Walker, and I plan to study international business at James Madison University.
Hi, my name is Kira Weber, and my parents are Jeff Weber and Lori and Mary Gardner, and I plan on pursuing my career in cosmetology.
Hi, my name is Bernard Williams, and I'm the son of Bernard and Rachel Williams. I plan to go to VCU for computer science.
Hello, my name is Shyla Williams, daughter of Ana Nieto and Manuel Fernandez. I'm 100% committed to Old Dominion University, and I want to major in dental hygiene.
Hello, my name is Sydney Wright. I'm the daughter of Vincent and Taya Wright, and I will be attending Tidewater Community College to go to veterinary technology.
Hello, my name is Terrell Wright. My parents are Corey and Tanya Wright, and I plan to go to the apprentice school to wrestle and pursue the welding trade.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Lawrence and Mrs. Reed. We appreciate you.
Everyone, one more big round of applause real fast for our honor grads. To all our students, hey, you guys, all those late nights, long hours, all the hard work, this is what it's all about right here. You guys are the tip of the spear, right? You're leading the way. Parents, this is a testament of the greatness coming out of the Suffolk Public Schools. So thank you for everything. We're proud of you. You guys are awesome. Keep up the great work. Only a few more days left, right, to graduation. So keep our heads, doing the right thing. At this time, I'm going to open the floor up for all my board members to speak and give you guys a word of encouragement, starting from Ms. Fields.
I'd like to say congratulations, honor graduates. You've stated, what you've done here tonight is you've opened the door to your careers. Walk through it with boldness and with creativity and with strength and power. Don't let anything stop you. If the door closes, if one door closes, look for another door. Just keep walking and you'll reach your goals. Congratulations, you've done well. We see what you've done, we're proud of you. And your parents are as well, and they are with you. So continue to listen to them. And you'll go far.
Thank you, Ms. Fields. Board Member Jenkins.
I want to thank you all for staying the course and not giving up. And I want to thank the parents for encouraging your child, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles. We heard so many careers here. You can get your hair done, you can get your dog groomed, taken care of, and someone can, if you miss a door, we have engineers that can make your own door. So if someone closes a door for you, create your own door. You have that influence and that power. And like Board Member Field says, don't let anyone stop you. A no doesn't mean you can't do it. You just find another way. Your dreams are attainable, and we are your village right here. So if you need us, just because you're graduating don't mean that we're just throwing you out and you're supposed to forget us. Come back if you need support and if you need help. We'll be right here with you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Brittenham.
Students, you have run your race well, and you're out at the end of that race. Congratulations to you for all the hard work that you've done. Parents, I'm going to speak to you from one parent to another. I've graduated 5 already, and I have 3 more in the pipeline, and I have one that's going to be a senior next year. Soak up this time with your kids because it goes by so quickly. They're going to be adults going to college, and before you know it, they're going to be starting their own families. So you have done a great job investing in them. You've invested well in them, and they are getting ready to take that step into adulthood and start their lives. So take a moment to congratulate yourselves because you've put 18 years into this individual who's getting ready to step out on their own. So good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Riddick.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. All right, all right, excuse me, let me take this little professional head off so we can have some fun. Let's cut up a little bit, okay? School is almost over. You're almost at the finish line. Come on, let's make some noise. You all are less than 2 months away from no more tests, no more having to get tardy slips, missing the bus, trying to figure out if the bus is coming. Hello? So this is the time where I'm going to encourage each and every last one of you to do me one favor. I know you have your foot on the gas. I want you to let up just a little. pull out your cell phones. You won't get a referral at this time. Take a picture. Enjoy your moments. You earned it. I didn't take the test, you did. You passed it. Clap for yourself. I'm going to conclude with this quote. And this quote came to me from the principal who opened this building, Mr. Talmadge Darton, when I was a student here. And he said to me, Tyron, life is like a bank. You can only take out of your life what you put into it. If you don't invest in yourself, no one else will. The days of making excuses are over. You can't blame mama and daddy, sister and brother, where you live, what you have and what you didn't have. You are your biggest supporter. And I want to say this to you. The sky is not the limit, okay? There are footprints on the moon, correct? So the sky is not the limit. And to the young lady who said she's going to school to major in finance, Dr. Gordon, can we get her an offer letter? Thank you all so much. Although I was not here in person, I did watch on my way from a level 5 prison. I did watch you all introduce yourselves, and I'm super excited. And if it's anything I can do to support you, my email address is public. Just let me know. Let's make some noise one last time. Come on. Now clap for your parents. Clap for your parents. Clap for your support system. Clap for your teachers. Come on, let's give it up. Let's give it up. Let's give it up.
Thank you, Mr. Riddick. Board Member Slingloaf.
Next time you need to save him for last so he can be the caboose. I just have to say, wow, you guys are so smart and you have such a great future. There is a plan, there is a hope, and there's a future for you. Do not ever give up. Do not ever stop dreaming, but put one foot in front of the other. Always see the good in every day when you wake up. Thank God that you have a new day, because there is a plan for your life. And I am very excited to see where you all end up, and hopefully you'll come back to Suffolk, bring some of that knowledge back here to impart in our city. So bless you all. Have a wonderful evening.
Dr. Lawrence, thank you guys. Mr. Reed, thank you guys for all you do. Please let Dr. Green know we're very thankful for everything he's doing, and all the administrators and educators at Nansemond River, the greatness you guys are putting out. We love you guys. Thank you for everything. Have a good night.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, if you are going to stay for the business portion of this meeting, we're going to be moving into that. If not, go ahead and you're dismissed.
You got it.
Hey, parents, real fast. Hey, quick announcement. There are some keys that have been found. Please see Dr. Brown in front of the auditorium for your keys. Lost keys, see Dr. Brown. Parents and students, can we take the conversations to the hallway so we can move on to the business portion of this meeting, please? All right, moving on to the agenda. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Chair McGee, I move to approve the agenda with the adding for discussion 2 items. One item is the discussion on the location for our school administrative office. And the second item is a joint use meeting between Suffolk City School Board and Suffolk City Council.
Second.
All right, Mr. Riddick made a motion, seconded by Vice Chair Howell. First one is to approve the agenda with the addition of adding for discussion a conversation for location for the school administration office. Second thing is a discussion for joint meeting with the school board and city council. Is that correct, Mr. Riddick? All right, I'm going to open up right now for any discussion. Being none, Madam Clerk.
Board members, please vote. Board Member Dr. Brittingham?
Yes.
Board Member Fields?
Yes.
Board Member Jenkins?
Yes.
Board Member Riddick?
Yes.
Board Member Slinglove?
Yes.
Vice Chair Howell?
Yes.
Board Chair McGee?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, we have no public speakers tonight, correct, for agenda items? All right, we're going to move on to reports by the superintendent. At this time, I'm going to turn the floor over to Dr. Gordon.
Thank you, Chair McGee. We have a very detailed good news report this evening. As we're coming close to the conclusion of the school year, we have several things to be recognized. Several of our students visited Birdsong Peanuts for a virtual reality tour. 18 of our SPS students participated in the Battle of the Books. SPS in our 17th annual CTE Educational Professional Student Conference. National River High School has also been highlighted tonight, also received diamond status for DECA. Several of our teacher cadets secured a first place at the state competition and have now advanced to the national level. The Suffolk Jazz Collective showcases student talent at center and performing and production arts. A visit by Delegate Karen Casey Carnegie, who visited Lakeland High School. Colonel Fred Cherry Middle School, 2-time Blue Ribbon School for Music by the VMEA. Booker T. Washington Elementary School, the Enchanted Steppers takes first place in the overall Spring Showdown performance. Nassau River High School Girls Indoor Track State Champions. Also an individual national champion, McKillen Rose in the triple jump, and our SPS Star Achievers. We will also then close out, Chair McGee, with a calendar of special events. At this time, I will call to the podium our Communications Officer, Ms. Antoinette Dickens. Ms. Dickens?
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Gordon. Just had to grab the clicker really quickly. Good evening, Board Chair, Vice Chair, of course, board members, and those here with us tonight. Innovation, creativity, and community partnerships were on full display at the STEM Academy of Booker T. Washington Elementary during the unveiling of the Birdsong Peanuts virtual reality tour. Guests enjoyed a student gallery walk featuring kinetic sculptures, 3D printed projects, and living legacy innovators. They heard directly from students about their design and makerspace work, and they experienced the From Farm to Peanut Butter virtual reality tour using actual VR headsets. The VR experience offers an in-depth look inside the Birdsong Peanuts facility, giving students a virtual behind-the-scenes tour of the peanut production process. A special thank you to Birdsong Peanuts for partnering with our students and helping bring this immersive learning experience to life, and of course to Old Dominion University for their continued collaboration as part of the College Partnership Lab School Initiative. We are proud to have had 6 teams participate in this year's final Battle of the Books hosted by the Suffolk Public Library. Participating schools included Booker T. Washington Elementary, Creekside Elementary, Florence Bowser, Kilby Shores, Mac Ben, and Northern Shores Elementary School. Representing SPS in the final competition were students from Creekside, their team named the Silver Foxes. Students from Florence Bowser Elementary School, their team Chapter Champs. And students from Kilby Shores Elementary School, the Green Jossum Readers. We're incredibly proud of all the students who showcase their reading skills, teamwork, and dedication, and thank the Suffolk Public Library for hosting this inspiring event. We have the students here tonight, as you can see, who competed in the final competitions. When I call your team's name, please come to the podium to receive just a token of our appreciation for your participation in this final battle of the books. I'll wait for our superintendent and board chair to come down this way. All right, from the Green Jawsome Readers, I have Aiden Sprouse from Kilby Shores Elementary. Hadley Reese from Kilby Shores. Hadley Reese. Oh, you got it. Aaliyah Baker from Kilby Shores. Bentley Mitchell from Kilby Shores. Lillian Miles from Kilby Shores. Allison Green from Kilby Shores. And Cynthia Council. Oh, that's okay. Dr. Gordon. Okay. All right, from Creekside Elementary, Silver Foxes, we have Elise Ritchie. Adelaide Joy. Elena Rosheim. Emma Mixon. And team sponsors Tyler Jones and Melanie Berner. And lastly, our chapter champs from Florence Bowser, we have Maria Bosco. Liam Qualis.
Right here. Okay.
Thank you.
You represent everybody? Okay.
Britton Alston. Lauren Henley. Chelsea Taylor. And sponsor, Miss Jennifer Podrucini.
We're going to give you the extra bag.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, how old are you? Everybody has sporting events tonight. So.
In addition to many other recognitions, the month of February was Career and Technical Education Month, and we're continuing to invest in the future of our students. Our 17th annual Career and Technical Education Professional Student Conference once again brought 9th grade students together for a powerful day of exploration and discovery. From engaging hands-on experiences to meaningful conversations with industry professionals, students gained valuable insight into the dynamic CTE programs available across our division. We thank the Hilton Garden Inn Suffolk Riverfront for continuing to serve as our host venue and for their ongoing partnership in supporting this event. We're proud of the growth and the potential we see in our students each day. Tonight, I'm also pleased to highlight the achievements of our students and advisors through their work with DECA at Nansemond River High School. Through 2 membership campaigns, our students earned Thrive level recognition and secured 5 Elevate spots for the International Career Development Conference in Atlanta. Our division was also recognized, or the DECA team, was also recognized for their highest overall membership growth in Region 4 and for their Virginia DECA Day initiatives. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize their outstanding advisor who earned gold level distinction, Ms. Candace Creedle, Kiana Hancock, and Jamie Seitz. Their leadership, mentorship, and unwavering support play a critical role in the success of these students. These accomplishments reflect the strong leadership and real-world readiness we're building in students every day. Again, Nansemond River is just on fire tonight. Nansemond River High School teacher cadets are making Suffolk Public Schools proud. At the Virginia Educators Rising Conference, our students showcased their talent and passion across multiple competitive events, including children's literature, the Educators Rising Moment, and Ethical Dilemma. A special congratulations to Gennaro Boyd, Riley Mihaler, and Brian Silvio, who earned first place in the Ethical Dilemma competition, securing their spot to represent Virginia on the national stage this June in Portland, Oregon. Our students and their sponsors are here with us tonight. When I call your name, please come to the podium to be recognized. Gennaro Boyd. Riley Mihaler. Brian Silvio. And sponsor Miss Amy Blythe. The Center for Performing and Production Arts highlighted the power of music collaboration in student artistry through a dynamic performance by the Suffolk Jazz Collective. Set within a professional stage environment, students performed a variety of jazz selections that highlighted not only their technical skill and instrumental precision, but also their ability to think creatively through improvisation, an essential element of jazz. What made this performance especially meaningful was the collaboration across grade levels as younger musicians performed alongside more experienced students, learning from one another and growing together as artists. Lakeland High School students recently had a unique opportunity to engage directly with state leadership during a special classroom visit to Ms. Simpson's class. During the visit, the delegates shared insights about the work of the General Assembly, offering students a firsthand look at how state government operates and impacts their daily lives. The conversation provided a meaningful connection between classroom and real-world civic processes. Delegate Karen Robbins, Casey Carnegie, provided a presentation to students where they actively participated in the discussion, asking thoughtful questions about legislative responsibilities, decision-making, and the role of public service. Their engagement highlighted a strong interest in understanding government and community leadership. The visit also held personal significance for the delegate, who expressed appreciation for returning to Lakeland High School, which was her husband's alma mater, and connecting with the next generation of leaders. I'm pleased to also share an outstanding achievement from Colonel Fred Cherry Middle School's music program. Colonel Fred Cherry has once again demonstrated excellence at the highest level, earning recognition as a two-time Blue Ribbon School for Music from the Virginia Music Education Association. This prestigious distinction reflects the strength and consistency of the school's entire music program. Notably, all three performing groups, band, chorus, and orchestra, received superior ratings across the board, including in the highly rigorous area of sight reading. Achieving superior ratings in every category is no small feat. It requires discipline, collaboration, and a deep commitment to music excellence. We are incredibly proud of the students and staff at Colonel Fred Cherry for continuing to set the standard for excellence and for representing Suffolk Public Schools so well at the state level. We are also proud to celebrate another outstanding group of students from Booker T. Washington Elementary School, the Enchanted Steppers Step Team. This talented team recently showcased their skill, discipline, and school pride on the competitive stage, earning first place in the elementary division and overall champion at the Spring Showdown performance in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. In addition, they brought home another first place finish in the Don't Start No Stuff chant and step competition, competing against 7 other schools. These wins really just show how much hard work, dedication, and teamwork these students have put in, and we can't forget their amazing sponsor who's been right there cheering them on and helping them shine every step of the way. The STEP team is here with us tonight. While they will not be performing, they are certainly a sight to see, and they represent Suffolk Public Schools with pride and excellence. At this time, I'd like to invite the members of the Enchanted Steppers and their spouse to the podium to be recognized. When I call your name, please come forward. Alisa Arrington. Hope Cotton. Mylan Colbert. Milan, thank you. Lamont Garvin Jr. Layla Thomas. Logan Harper. Willow Perrette Clemens. Aria Stanmeyer. Jalen Barnes. Jalen Barnes is the coach of these outstanding ladies. And Miss Michaela Whitley is another coach for the outstanding STEP team. We'd also like to recognize the team moms who put in a lot of hard work behind the scenes as well. Miss Natasha Garvin and Tamika Banks. All right, we are also excited to celebrate an incredible achievement by the young women and men of Nansemond River High School. To start out, thank you. The Nansemond River High School girls indoor track team has earned the title of state champions. This is a remarkable accomplishment that reflects their dedication, perseverance, and their competitive spirit. Throughout the season, these student athletes demonstrated what it truly means to represent Suffolk Public Schools with pride. Their commitment to excellence, both on and off the track, led them to this well-deserved victory at the state level. This championship is not only a win for the team, but a proud moment for the entire Nansemond River community and for our whole Suffolk Public School Division. We also want to recognize the coaches and staff whose leadership, guidance, and support helped make this achievement possible. Congratulations to our state champions. At this time, I'd like to invite the team and their coaches to come forward to be recognized. I'd also like to recognize the following individuals from the girls' team for earning the state title in the following events. I'll announce the events separately, but I want to bring the ladies up first. When I call your name, please come to the podium for recognition. McKaylin Rose. Audrina Chu. Madison Veal. Nevaeh Cheney. Micaiah Johnson. Kayla Willis. Kyla Willis. Simone Ellis.
Who was the one before Simone?
Kyla.
Kylie Bliss.
Jasmine Gaines. Can we give these ladies a round of applause?
These are individual ones, right?
I'm going to say them. As they're taking the team photo, I'm going to announce their individual recognitions in each event. So, McKaylin Rose received the state champion title in the high jump and in the triple jump. Audrina True, state champion in the 55-meter hurdles. Madison Veal, state champion in the 55-meter dash. Additionally, the following individuals from the boys' team placed in the following events. The boys 4x400 state champions, Timothy McFarland. William Hampton. Jeremiah Jones. Aaron Williams, Jr. They're not on here. Thank you.
You got the coach?
Yeah.
Where's the coach?
Hold on a second.
Okay.
So I've learned that there are also 2 additional females on the track team that I want to recognize. We don't want to leave anyone out. I have London Smith. And Lauren Harris.
Let's go, Lauren.
And can the coaches please come forward?
This the
Boys, did you take the picture already?
Yeah, we have it. We have it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. Let's go, my coach.
Coach Marco was the indoor coach of the year for indoor.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's go, Lord. Hard work.
One, two, three.
Hard over high.
These student athletes are truly a reflection of the hard work, dedication, and commitment of their coach. Before you all go too far, we also want to recognize Coach Marco McCoy.
Let's go.
Coach Marco has been named the 2025-2026 Indoor Track Season Coach of the Year.
Is that for him too? Yep.
Yes.
Look, you got the whole thing for you.
Let's go, Coach.
Everybody? That's it?
One more. All right, and before the ladies disperse, we also would like to recognize especially Miss McKaylin Rose. McKaylin has broken 5 school records in indoor track, including the high jump, triple jump, 500-meter dash, and 1,000-meter run. In addition, she has set a new cross-county record, which is an incredible accomplishment that speaks to her dedication, talent, and work ethic. Recently, within our school division, we ran a report to check just to see which of our students had perfect attendance for their entire academic journey. This is from kindergarten through their senior year. And McKaylin Rose was one of the students listed on that list. We're incredibly proud of each of our students' accomplishments and look forward to their continued success. And lastly, board members, we want to congratulate all of our staff members who were selected by their peers for recognition as a star achiever for the third quarter of the school year. Of course, their passion and excellence continue to shine across Suffolk Public Schools, and we thank them for going above and beyond to serve our school community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dickens, for all the great recognition for so many schools tonight, especially being highlighted by the great student athletes and honor grads at Nansemond River High School. Want to be able to close out this portion of the agenda with a calendar of special events. As we know, April is School Library Month. Next week is National Administrative Professionals Day. The entire week is the 19th to the 25th, which is also Public School Volunteer Week. National Youth Violence Prevention Week. National Administrative Professionals Day is the 22nd. Earth Day is also the same day on the 22nd. National School Bus Driver Appreciation Day is April 28th. As a reminder to our school community, our second school board meeting has been canceled. That was originally scheduled for April 30th. As we move into the month of May, is Physical Fitness and Sports, Asian Pacific American Heritage, Jewish American Heritage, Mental Health Awareness, Military Appreciation Month. National School Principals Day is May 1st, which is also School Lunch Hero Day. That entire week is Physical Education and Sports Week, ending on the 7th, which is also the National Teacher Appreciation Week, ending on the 8th. National School Nurse Day is May 6th. The entire week is the 6th to the 12th. Our interim report cards for the final 9 weeks come out on May 7th. The next day is National School Communicators Day, May 8th. The following week is Mental Health Awareness Week, May 10th through the 16th. Our first school board meeting back here at Kings Fork Middle School will be on May 14th. International Wear Green Day for Mental Health Awareness is May 15th. Also want to thank all of our board members tonight for wearing purple for Military Child Month. Teacher Work Day will be May 22nd. Memorial Day holiday where the school division will be closed will be May 25th. Our second school board monthly meeting at Suffolk City Hall will be May 28th. Our graduation day that we were speaking of earlier will be May 30th. We're going to kick things off at 9 a.m. with Kings Fork High School, 12:30 p.m. with the Nansemond River Warriors, and closing out the afternoon at 4 p.m. with Lakeland High School. That concludes the good news report and the calendar of special events, Chair McGee.
Thank you, Dr. Gordon. Thank you, Ms. Dickens. And thanks again. Congrats to all our students for your excellence. All right, moving on. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
Board Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, motion was made by Vice Chair Howell to approve the consent agenda. I think it was duly seconded by Board Member Singleff and I believe Board Member Jenkins. Any discussion? Being none, Madam Clerk.
Board members, please vote. Board Member Dr. Brittingham?
Yes.
Board Member Fields?
Yes.
Board Member Jenkins?
Yes.
Board Member Riddick?
Yes.
Board Member Slinglove?
Yes.
Vice Chair Howell?
Yes.
Board Chair McGee?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. At this point in time, we have a few administrative hires that I would like to announce. We want to call to the podium our new coordinator of English, Ms. Heather Ford, has a bachelor's degree in English from Vassar College, a Master of Science from Old Dominion University, an educational specialist degree from George Washington University, coming to us from Charles County High School, formerly as an assistant principal at Matthew Henson Middle School. Ms. Ford, if you're in attendance, would you mind taking some time here to introduce yourself to the board as well as any family members that you may have in attendance?
Hi, good evening to Dr. Gordon, to all the members of the board. I really appreciate the welcome and the opportunity. I lived in Suffolk about 19 years ago, and a military move took our family away, but now we've found our way back. So we're coming home to Hampton Roads, and I'm very excited to get to know the Suffolk community again and get to know the public school system, and work very hard with all of our English educators and reading specialists and literacy coaches to improve reading across the board. So I appreciate the opportunity and thank you. Unfortunately, I didn't have any of my family here. We're doing the move from Maryland to Virginia, so we're a little split up. But I do have, actually, my son recently was stationed. He joined the Navy last summer, and he has been stationed in Norfolk, so he's going to be close to home. And my daughters are off in college. So thank you very much.
Next, I want to recognize our new Coordinator 1 of Student Services, Ms. Della Jordan, has a Bachelor of Arts from the University of Colorado, Master of Education in Special Education from Regent University, Master of Arts in Educational Leadership, Educational Specialist degree from Liberty University, coming to us from Accomack County as the Coordinator of School Counselors. Ms. Jordan, give you a chance to introduce yourself to the board, as well as introduce yourself to the entire Suffolk Public Schools community and any family members you may have in attendance.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dr. Gordon and board members. Thank you all for this opportunity tonight. I do have my sister who is here, Dr. May Williams, who is in the audience. I am coming from Accomack by way of Hampton City Schools, by way of military also, like the other new hire. Military brought us here in 1985. So I'm actually the coordinator of student services over there at Accomack, which my job is attendance. So I'm glad you all are present. So I had to get a note for that today. I'm looking forward to this new journey here, and I'm just excited to be here, and I have a warm welcome from everyone that when I went to the office and got introduced. So I'm very excited to make this new journey into my new home here in Suffolk. Thank you all very much.
And last but not least, I'd like to take the time to introduce Mr. Anthony LeBron, our new Chief Financial Officer, is a Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration from the University of Puerto Rico, also a second Bachelor of Arts in Economics from Florida International University, Master of Science in Healthcare Management. Mr. Braun has hit the ground running. I'll give you a chance to introduce yourself to the board and to the Suffolk Public School community.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Chair McGee, Vice Chair Howell, members of the board. My name is Anthony LeBron, Chief Financial Officer for Suffolk Public Schools. Really happy to be here, really happy to join such a beautiful community. Also wanted to take a moment to thank the former CFO, Mrs. Wendy Forsman, for the dedication that she put into the school district and making sure we had a really good team. I'm really grateful for the team that I have right now, and my goal is to continue that excellent work that she left behind in that legacy. Also want to thank Dr. Gordon for the opportunity. I want to thank the school board as well, and I'm looking forward to working with you, providing advice when it comes to financial matters for the school district, and providing information that you need to continue the good work that you're doing leading us. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Gordon, and congrats to all of our new hires, and looking forward to working with each and every one of you. Thank you. All right, moving on to unfinished business. Item 1 is ordinance 2526-81. Is there a motion or a discussion?
McGee.
Go ahead.
I move that we take the school board code of ethics and turn it into an annual resolution that is read on the at the first organizational meeting or the first meeting every January.
Second.
All right, motion on the floor made by Board Member Singleff, seconded by Dr. Brittenham, is to make the Code of Ethics, our annual resolution read at the first board meeting in January. Is there any discussion?
Chair McGee?
Go ahead, ma'am.
There are a couple of issues with the Code of Ethics that I would like to have the board's input on. The first issue is in section B2. That section was moved up to be included in the aspirational statements. It references the school board chair being the spokesperson for the school board, and that board members making comments to the media, at public gatherings in print or on social media regarding actions or matters of the school board. They can do that without having to first indicate that what they're saying are expressions of their own point of view. I've heard the rationale of the PRC members about that issue, but I would like to hear the input of the entire board about that, because my contention is that the board members we all have different point of views on various topics. It might be confounding to the public if information is being memorialized in social media that does not represent the consensus of the board. Therefore, we should inform the public that we represent our own point of view when we're speaking to social media.
Board Member Fields, may I interrupt you for a quick second?
Mm-hmm.
So the ordinance we're looking at right now is the Code of Ethics. I think you're referencing item number 9, ordinance 252683, aspirational statements.
I'm referencing 2.2.2-2.6:2. That's the Code of Ethics.
Attorney Waller, can you speak to this?
When board member Fields reference subsection B, and the language that she quoted, that is not in 2-2.6:2, but it is found in 2-2.6:1 under the aspirational statements.
Okay.
Thank you, Attorney Waller. Ms. Fields, did you want to speak to the Code of Ethics?
Yes.
Okay, I'll let you still have the floor.
Okay, well then, with the Code of Ethics, I took issue with the language that's being espoused for item 2. It was recommended that additional language be included in that provision. And in the PRC, we discussed it, but I would like again to hear what the full board's opinion is about it. We talked about including language that reads, that describes integrity and the fact that integrity includes a commitment to honesty, transparency, and the ethical representation of facts in all official communication, deliberation, and discussions. Board members should uphold the truth and refrain from knowingly misrepresenting information to the public. staff, or fellow board members. It's my contention that that type of language rounds out the policy, and it ensures that integrity is not just about personal conduct, but also about truthfulness and transparency in every transaction. I like to see the policy include modified language from our current norms and protocols policy, which states that the official spokesperson, well, I would like to see that language included in the policy, in that provision. And I would like to hear what other board members, if other board members have any input about that type of language being included.
Thank you, Board Member Fields. Do any other board members have comments for the motion that's on the floor right now to approve or to move this ordinance from policy to our annual resolution being voted on in January at our first meeting?
Chair McGee?
Go ahead, ma'am.
I just want to say, I know when we were reviewing this, initially, most of the board wouldn't even sign the one that we originally had for whatever reason. And now that there's one being pretty much rewritten and put together, and I know I added some things and sent to maybe put in this, just holding us accountable, and none of that was even put in or said wasn't needed. So I'm just trying to figure out now what prompt, it wasn't me, but what prompt now all of a sudden we're going to do a new code of ethics, but the one prior from VSBA, or maybe was it because it was from VSBA that it wasn't signed, or so I'm just wondering.
I appreciate that. If there are any board members who like to speak to that, if you've not voted for the previous one and support this one, you're welcome to do that now.
Board Chair McGee.
Go ahead.
Just for clarity, I would like to just mention so that everyone is on the same page, this code of ethics was a combination of Board Chair McGee's original presentation of code of ethics merged together with the VSBA code of ethics into one. And so it got quite lengthy, but this is a combination of both of those code of ethics for the board to be aware.
I would like to say that it was a combination of the
Ms.
two.
Fields, before you go,
Excuse me.
I just want to make sure no one else that hasn't had a chance to speak yet. All right, you good?
Okay, I would like to say that it was a combination of VSBA and the code of ethics that was presented to us, but I'm still under the impression that the language that's in the new code of ethics could be enhanced with the, by including some of the suggestions that were given to us to be added to this policy. In item 5, when it talks about each board member working collaboratively in setting board policies, if it was suggested that we include language that includes the board acting collectively shall exercise governance level oversight by reviewing, approving, and monitoring budgets, contracts, and programs to include responsible stewardship of taxpayer funds. Individual board members shall not independently direct audits, investigate staff, or engage in operational management functions as these responsibilities remain within the superintendent's authority. That kind of language establishes clear boundaries between governance and management, ensuring that the board stays in the big picture level, focusing on long-term goals, strategies, and overall policy rather than getting into day-to-day operations and micromanaging. Basically, it keeps us on a governance level, steering the ship while the superintendent and his staff handles the daily executions. There was another area in this code of ethics that was merged in item 6, where it talks about the school board members understanding the authority of day-to-day operations of the schools, and the administration of the schools is vested in the superintendent. The language that I am proposing, or that was proposed, is that while the board retains the governance authority and oversight responsibility, it shall act only as a body in duly convened meetings, and shall not direct, override, or interfere with administrative decisions outside of established evaluations, policy setting, and contractual processes. The superintendent retains authority over day-to-day operations, personnel management, and implementation of board-approved policies. And in my estimation, that type of language forces the line between governance and administration by clarifying that all board actions must happen collectively in meetings and within their defined roles. The language brings balance to the policy. That type of language being put into this policy enhances the policy. What we have here is a policy that it's not exactly clarifying or putting any really boundaries or perimeters around ethics for this board. Therefore, I'm asking that we take a look at it as a board and reconsider the language of the policy.
Thank you, Ms. Fields. Is there any other discussion? So right now, there's a motion on the floor. I would ask Board Member Singlove, would you be willing to reconsider your motion, or do you want to keep your motion as is?
I would like to keep the motion as is, and if the board chooses otherwise in their vote, we can take a look at it from there. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Board members, please vote. Board Member Dr. Brittingham?
Yes.
Board Member Fields?
No.
Board Member Jenkins?
No.
Board Member Riddick?
I'm going to abstain, and the reason why I'm going to abstain, I believe that this code of ethics is just ceremonial. I don't believe that there's any real meat to hold board members to the code of ethics. There are several violations that have already been entered by the authors and participants of the drafting of this code of ethics. So I really think if we're going to be serious about doing code of ethics, and especially when we're talking about day-to-day in governance, we need to clearly define what is governance according to the Virginia Code as it relates to Suffolk Public Schools, what is day-to-day as it relates to Suffolk Public Schools, and what does the word collaboration means, because it has been this board's, not previous, this board's past practice since January 1 to collaborate with a chosen few and always exclude those who may have a difference of an opinion from them, and then misrepresent facts as if they did try to collaborate. So my faith is not that this board will uphold to it. I would love to be optimistic. However, it has been the standard trend and practice by members of this board that they will not follow the ethics. So I don't believe in wasting paper or time to try to put a document in place when the authors and the participants of this document drafting don't even abide by what's already written as is. Thank you.
Board Member Slinglove?
Yes.
Vice Chair Howell?
Yes.
Board Chair McGee?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, moving on to new business. Item 1, is there a motion for payment of bills and payroll?
So
Move
moved.
to approve.
All
I'll
right.
second it.
Motion was made by Board Member Riddick, seconded by Vice Chair Howell. Any discussion? Being none, Madam Clerk.
Board members, please vote. Board Member Dr. Brittingham?
No.
Board Member Fields?
Yes.
Board Member Jenkins?
Yes.
Board Member Riddick?
Yes.
Board Member Slinglove?
No.
Vice Chair Howell?
Yes.
Board Chair McGee?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, moving to item number 2, bonus appropriation. I'm going to turn the floor over to Dr. Gordon.
Thank you, Chair McGee. To the school community and to our board members, we have attached appropriation increase number 3 for 25-26 for a state-approved bonus. Details that our operating funds originally was $218,284,358. By the City Council in the November 5th meeting. In March, the General Assembly adopted a caboose bill that provided an additional $1,573,870 to the school division that requires a match to pay for a maximum $1,500 bonus to employees. These funds are appropriated for this fiscal year and must be approved by the City Council as an additional appropriation. In order for this to occur, ladies and gentlemen, we must have the school board vote on this tonight, and therefore it will go to City Council in order to be able to meet their threshold to have on the next meeting. It is going to be the goal of the administration to be able to use this as a retention bonus to be distributed at a later date. Thank you, Chair McKee.
Thank you, Dr. Gordon.
Board Chair, I move to approve.
Second.
All right, motion was made by Vice Chair Howell to approve, seconded duly by Board Member Riddick and Board Member Slinglove. Any discussion? Being none, Madam Clerk.
Board members, please vote. Board Member Dr. Brittingham?
Yes.
Board Member Fields?
Yes.
Board Member Jenkins?
Yes.
Board Member Riddick?
Yes.
Board Member Slinglove?
Yes.
Vice Chair Howell?
Yes.
Board Chair McGee?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Moving to item 3, Dr. Gordon.
Yes, thank you, Chair McGee. We have on the agenda the 25-26 calendar adjustment to make April 21st both a staff and student holiday due to the special election. After we had met with our emergency services team, as well as having discussions with our regional partners, we were concerned about the safety of our students and staff, primarily doing 2 opportunities of the window for elections. That was going to be student arrival and student dismissal. That was a safety concern that even though we came up with some pretty comprehensive plans, we felt that it would be in the best interest of the school division after checking with our instructional hours to ensure that we were still going to be able to meet the threshold as established by the Virginia Department of Education. I appreciate the school board taking a poll before this that will allow us to have communication to the school community, that will allow our families to prepare. Calendar adjustment recommendation by staff is to turn April 21st, 2026 into a staff and student holiday.
Thank you, Dr. Gordon. Is there a motion?
Board Chair, I move to approve the calendar adjustment.
Second.
All right, motion was first made by Board Member Riddick, seconded by Board Member Slinglove. Any discussion? The only thing I want to say real fast, Dr. Gordon, thank you, and to the community. You know, I know this is a hot topic item going around the Hampton Roads area and across the state, but I will always support and stand on the side of safety and security of our teachers, our staff members, and of course our children. So thank you, Dr. Gordon, to you and your team for making this recommendation. Madam Clerk.
Board members, please vote. Board Member Dr. Brittingham?
Yes.
Board Member Fields?
Yes.
Board Member Jenkins?
Yes.
Board Member Riddick?
Yes.
Board Member Slinglove?
Yes.
Vice Chair Howell?
Yes.
Board Chair McGee?
Yes.
Motion passed.
On to item 4, the Perkins Grant. Dr. Gordon.
Thank you, Chair McGee. Board members, you have in front of you the annual local plan and tentative budget for career and technical education. The Perkins application for CTE under the leadership of Dr. Andre Skinner. This Perkins plan has specific requirements such as involvement by the CTE Advisory Council, the creation of a career pathway plan of study into our degree programs at Paul D. Camp Community College, also awareness of the Virginia Credential Initiative. The tentative Perkins budget for 26-27 school year is $324,856.43, broken down for professional development, a little over $34,000, student career leadership activities, a little over $19,000, the expansion and modernization of our quality CTE programs, a little over $201,000. Once again, the Virginia Credentialing Initiative, which includes industry credentialing exams and publications for $60,000, administration and administrative equipment for $10,000, little over $10,000. This local plan and budget for CTE requires final approval from the Virginia Department of Education, Office of Career and Technical Education Services, with the first step being approval by the school board tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gordon.
Board Chair McKee, I move that we approve the Perkins grant.
Second.
All right, motion is made by Dr. Brittingham for approval, seconded by Board Member Slinglove. Is there any discussion? Being none, Madam Clerk?
Board members, please vote. Board Member Dr. Brittingham?
Yes.
Board Member Fields?
Yes.
Board Member Jenkins?
Yes.
Board Member Riddick?
Yes.
Board Member Slinglove?
Yes.
Vice Chair Howell?
Yes.
Board Chair McGee?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Moving on to item 5, Special Education Annual Plan Presentation. Dr. Gordon.
Thank you, Chair McGee. I'm going to call to the podium Ms. Kim Warholick, Director of Special Education, to review the annual plan Part B flow-through application presented by the Suffolk Education Special Education Department. As a part of this, we must have school board approval for our annual plan presentation. Ms. Warholick, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Good evening. Tonight I'm going to present the proposed 2025-2026 Special Education Annual Plan, Part B, Flow-Through Application for Suffolk Public Schools. This is an annual plan that's required by the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. VDOE regulates this plan that we present, and it has to be reviewed by our SEAC committee, which we did do on March 18th, and now this evening for you all at the school board. The submission for this plan is due to the Virginia Department of Education by May 8th, 2026. So the purpose of this plan is that the application is submitted annually to receive federal funds for special education under Title 6B of the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. VDOE provides us with specific guidelines that we have to follow in submitting this plan. And part of that, of course, like I've already said, is to review it with SEAC and to get approval by the school board. The plan provides federal funds that must be used only for special education services and related services for our students with disabilities. Part of the plan is to have statements of assurances. We as a division must assure that we provide policies and procedures and protections for our students with disabilities. We have to ensure that we are providing them with a free, appropriate public education. We have to ensure that all students have an individualized education program in place to support their specific needs, as well as serving our students in the least restrictive environment. This plan is based off of the December 1, 2025 child count. Every year, we have to submit a child count called our December 1 count. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that. Our sub count for this year, for December 1, was 1,965 students. So this plan is based off of that December 1 count of 1,965 students. We also submit by category, how many students we serve under each category, and as the time fluctuates and the student count changes, that then impacts what we would be awarded. Other components of this plan is we have to identify whether or not we have an interagency agreement with the local jails. We do have an interagency agreement with Western Tidewater Regional Jail so that we ensure that we provide services to eligible students who are incarcerated. We also have to maintain our maintenance of effort, which is us maintaining our effort to ensure that we are spending our local and our state funding at the same rate or higher each year for our students with disabilities. And we also have what is known as proportionate set aside. That is the amount of money that we have to set aside to ensure that we have funding to provide services to students who are parentally privately placed in private school and homeschool students. We don't always have to use that proportionate set aside if the students do not receive the service. However, we have to have that set aside so that we can include it in the plan. Title 6B provides financial assistance to school divisions serving students with disabilities. It's broken up to two sections. Section 611, 611 is for our school-aged children. In this title, we have used the funding to pay for salaries and benefits for some of our special education teachers, some of our special education teacher assistants, job coaches, as well as our bus assistants. The application allocation is based off what we were allocated by IDEA Title 6B. The allocation that we received for this current school year was $3,563,383. That then becomes the amount that we request for the current plan. For Section 619. These are our students who are ages 3 to 5. This is paying the salary and benefits for a special education preschool teacher. That allocation that we were awarded was $69,187. Therefore, that amount is what we would put into the plan as our request for that funding for this component of Title VI-B. And of course, it has to be submitted by May 8th, 2026, and recommended for your approval. Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Wahalik. Does anyone have any questions? Great presentation.
Oh, thank you.
Is there a motion to approve the plan?
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, motion was made by Vice Chair Held to approve. I think it was duly seconded by Board Member Brittenham and Board Member Jenkins. Any discussion? Being none, Madam Clerk.
Board members, please vote. Board Member Dr. Brittingham?
Yes.
Board Member Fields?
Yes.
Board Member Jenkins?
Yes.
Board Member Riddick?
Yes.
Board Member Slinglove?
Yes.
Vice Chair Howell?
Yes.
Board Chair McGee?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, moving on to item number 6, Resolution 2526-25. It's a resolution for the Suffolk School Board to support House Bill 182. At this time, I'm going to turn the floor over to Board Member Fields to let her speak to this.
Okay, first I'd like to say that the governor did sign the bill, the House bill for this resolution on 4/13. And so it has been signed into law in Virginia. It is the resolution that it requires the Board of Education in establishing high school graduation requirements to permit any student to substitute the African American History course or the Advanced Placement African American Studies course for the World History 1 course or the World Geography course for the purpose of satisfying the history and social studies credit requirements, provided that such courses are available to the students. And the students is required to complete and receive a passing score on an applicable local alternative assessment or an equivalent board-approved assessment in order to satisfy history and social studies credits requirements for graduation. That was the bill, and it has been approved by the governor. But I would like to see a vote from this board so that we can have, as a matter of record, Suffolk Public Schools, our district's position on this particular bill, on House Bill 182. And I'm doing that because I am a product of Suffolk Public Schools. And throughout my 12 years of study here in Suffolk Public Schools, I was taught that that my descendants were slaves, and a few of them became noted for their fight against slavery. I was never introduced to African American I was never introduced to how African Americans advanced the cultural civilization of humanity. I was never taught that African Americans were founding fathers of advanced cultural technology and understandings. That history was left out of my curriculum. Today, with the signing of House Bill 182, Governor Spanberger has given seniors of all nationalities an opportunity to study and perhaps discover the real truth about African American history. With a vote today, Suffolk Public Schools could show their support for reversing the withholding of information and educate our students in truth. So I am asking that our board take a vote on House Bill 182 to see where we stand, so that we can have as a matter of record where we stand for this bill.
Thanks, Board Member Fields. And real fast, I'm going to give it to you, Mr. Riddick. I just want the public to know, I know this was on your heart to do last board meeting, and the agenda was already approved before you can add it. So she came to me with that concern, and I, supported that, and that's why it's back on this evening. Go ahead, Mr. Riddick.
I move to approve the resolution that is set forth before the board, solidifying Suffolk Public Schools' position on House Bill 182.
Second.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve House Bill 182 with a resolution from the board, seconded duly by Board Member Fields and Board Member Jenkins. Any discussion? Being done, Madam Clerk.
I'm sorry, it was motioned and second by whom?
Duly, Board Member Fields and Board Member Jenkins.
That made the motion?
Mr. Riddick made
Second.
the motion. Second, yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Okay. Board members, please vote. Board Member Dr. Brittingham?
Yes.
Board Member Fields?
Yes.
Board Member Jenkins?
Yes.
Board Member Riddick?
Yes.
Board Member Slinglove?
Yes.
Vice Chair Howell? Yes. Board Chair McGee?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, moving on to item number 7. It's going to be our last action item under new business, Resolution 2526-26.
Board Chair McGee, I move to approve the resolution.
Second.
All right, motion made by Board Member Brittingham, seconded by Vice Chair Howell for approval. Any discussion? Being none, Madam Clerk.
Board members, please vote. Board Member Dr. Brittingham?
Yes.
Board Member Fields?
Yes.
Board Member Jenkins?
Yes.
Board Member Riddick?
Yes.
Board Member Slinglove?
Yes.
Vice Chair Howell? Yes. Board Chair McGee?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, our next items on the new business are all info. Are there any items anybody would like to discuss?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Riddick.
Board Chair McGee, I would like to discuss ordinance 25/26-82. I ask that the PRC committee look at adding some additional language that says if board members are to receive any training, be it paid for by SPS or paid for out of their personal coffers, that impacts their governance for Suffolk City Public Schools, that they provide that information as well. For an example, if I on my own time go to the Urban Board Alliance, which is a real organization, and I receive training from it, but I pay for it out of my pocket. And then when I come back to Suffolk, I'm taking the information that I learned and I'm using that as a measuring stick on how I do business. I think it is essential and vital that we give all board members access to the same information. That is one of the reasons why we go to training. That is also one of the points that is referenced in the newly Code of Ethics, that we would get training, come back and present the training. And I don't want any training that is received that is impacting the business of Suffolk City Public Schools excluded from that. So that's my recommendation, that this goes back to PRC for discussion and consideration of adding that caveat to it, because it currently reads that if board members receive training paid for by the school division. However, there's also trainings that board members may pay for themselves that still impact the same school division.
Thank you, Mr. Riddick. One correction I want to make before we deep dive into this is we do have the additional items that were added at the beginning of the meeting that we need to address. So we still have the 2 items Mr. Riddick added and the board voted on at the beginning of the meeting. Attorney Waller, being that it's an info item, can action take place tonight for it to go back to PRC, or would it have to wait for the second read?
You could make this an action item, and you could take action on it tonight if you want to move it back to PRC.
I guess since the agenda has already been approved as an info item, how can we now make it an action item?
Well, the reference to it being an action item versus an info item does not impact what's actually on the agenda, because the item is already on the agenda. It's just your notation as to how you plan to deal with it, but it doesn't impact your ability to alter how you want to deal with any item that's on the agenda.
Thanks for that. All right. Is there any other discussion regarding this item?
Board Chair McGee, I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Attorney Waller, are you telling me that if something is on our agenda as an info item and we as a board decide to change it to become an action item, that's within bounds of what we can do on the dais?
I believe that you can. It's not taking anything from the agenda, nor is it adding anything to the agenda. It's simply indicating how you plan to act on that item that is already on the agenda.
Okay.
Thanks for clearing that up, and thanks for the question.
Chair McGee, I just had a question. The point of listening as information is for us to begin and have dialogue. So that way, when it's time to vote, we don't get to that point and try to recreate policy and procedure. So instead of waiting until we get to that point, I thought it was prudent that I suggested now, so that way PRC has time before board members continue to do deep dives on the policy that's suggested, chew on it, have conversation, and we can grow from there. But if we have the will to move forward and send this back to PRC by action, I'm not going to kick against it.
Thanks, Mr. Riddick.
Board Chair McGee, thank you. So I would just like to address this policy. I want to state something that I stated actually in Policy Review Committee as well. A concern of mine is, and it's already stated in here, that if a training has been paid for by the school board, we have to write a written report, and any copies of materials are to be distributed to all board members. But I want to make it clear, there is a caveat to that in here. If a company or an organization has a training that is to be paid for, that is likely that it is proprietary information. So if one board member pays for that training, to distribute that information to all board members and that literature or that material to all board members without permission of the organization that you have paid, then I just want to make that publicly stated. That's unethical at the very least, because these organizations are trying to survive as well. They have a product, a good, a service that is being sold at a price to a consumer, which would be a board member. So it is not ethical practice, in my opinion, to take information that you have paid for and distribute it to the whole board unless you have gotten written authorization from that company that you may do so.
Thank you, Chair McGee, for giving me an opportunity to speak again. I do understand what Board Member Slingloff is making a mention to. However, let's be transparent here in the moment. There's been board members who have went to trainings and gathered training, and it has impacted how they did business and the school system. And I'm not going to speak for anyone else, but I'm going to speak for myself. And when asked, hey, what training was it? Board member said, I'm not going to tell you. Well, what did you learn? I'm not going to tell you. I paid for it with my money, and I'm not going to share. However, that training that was received impacted the board members in their ability to do their job. If they experienced some training that shifted their viewpoint, I believe each board member should have that same opportunity, because it may shift the other board member's viewpoint. It broadens our horizons when we go to additional trainings. I may be a fan of COSPA. I remember this came up for discussion. Board Member Jenkins, you can remember, I'm Team COSPA, and there was some just gun-ho Team NSBA. However, it was the same type of training, and we figured that out once we brought the material and compared the material. I just feel if we're going to do business on behalf of the public, we owe it to the public to share the information to make sure all board members are on the same playing field with information. I can't hold you to a standard from training that I exclusively receive that you don't know anything about. That's unethical and not fair to you. For me to hold you to my standard. So we can kick the can on ethics all day long. I'm just asking that if you receive training, whether paid for by yourself or Suffolk City Schools, and you use the information learned from that training in your business of governance for this school division that you ran for, that you share the information. And if there's a clause that says that you can't, that's what we have the attorneys for. But if you share where you got the training from, maybe other board members may be willing to go and get the training for themselves as well. But when you're just blatantly shutting out the information, it's hard for us to even come to the middle. It's hard for us to even, just pull together when it's a brick wall and I'm gonna protect this information and hold it hostage. But I'm going to use it for my governance, and you cannot question me on my governance because I'm not going to tell you this information. And what I suggest from NSBA, COSPA, Urban Board Alliance, CUBE, or whichever agency, VSBA, there's an issue with those, but that information is open to all of us. Yet private information is not. So that's where I am. I hope everybody understands. I'm willing to answer any questions. I think it's very cut and dry what I'm asking for.
Thank you, Mr. Riddick. Is there any other discussions or a motion?
I move to send this back to policy review committees so the policy review committee can consider the caveat of any training that is used by board members, be it paid for by individual board members or Suffolk City public school funds that board members use to gain knowledge to impact their governance be shared with the full board and a presentation is given to the board.
Second.
Ms. Gardner, I'm going to ask, did you get all that? And if not, you did? Once you get, will you please reread the motion on the floor?
Board Member Riddick moved, and it was seconded by Board Member Jenkins to return Ordinance 2526-82 back to the Policy Review Committee to consider a caveat of any training used by and paid for by board members or Suffolk Public Schools to be shared in the presentation to other board members. Is that accurate?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So motion's made by Board Member Riddick, seconded by Board Member Jenkins. Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Board members, please vote. Board Member Dr. Brittingham?
No.
Board Member Fields?
Yes.
Board Member Jenkins?
Yes.
Board Member Riddick?
Yes.
Board Member Slinglove?
Yes.
Board Member Howell? Vice Chair Howell?
Yes.
Board Chair McGee?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right. Items 9, 10, and 11. Those are info items. Would anybody want to discuss those?
Board Chair McGee,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to discuss 9.
All right. You have the floor.
Okay. Okay. In this policy, this is the one that we were talking, that I was talking about. The subsection B2, where it talks about the official spokesperson being, of the board being the chair of the school board. However, members are allowed to express their own point of views when making comments to the media, in public gatherings, in print, and on social media regarding actions of the school board or matters involving Suffolk Public Schools. Here in the original policy, ordinance, it's talking about they can do that without indicating that it's their personal point of view. And from my impression, the policy, the ordinance would be, let's see, no, it's a guideline. The guideline would be enhanced by saying that school board members must indicate that it is their personal point of view, because we don't want to confound the public into thinking that what's coming from a board member is the consensus of the board. Many times it is not. And with this particular board, I've seen that many times it is not the consensus of the board when board members are out talking to social media. So I'm requesting that the language of this particular guideline is amended to say that board members should first, or in some way, indicate that it is their personal point of view when making public statements. There is another section here in this particular guideline under section, let's see, under section B3, where it talks about board members are to listen to public comments and public hearing presentations, but are not to comment, deliberate, or take action on them during the public comment time. I'm asking that that language be amended to say that board members are not to respond, are not to make comments, deliberate, or take action at any time during the public meeting. That means that we don't respond to public speakers when they are making their comments. We don't respond to them when we're making our closing statements. We do not want to alienate public speakers or make them feel like it's not safe to come here to make their comments. And I would like to know what know what this board thinks about that.
Thank you, Board Member Fields.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Riddick.
Thank you, Board Member Fields, for bringing out such great points. I do concur with the part about school board members are able to speak without the disclaimer in front of the statement. We've experienced that before. Board Member Jenkins and I, that's how misinformation is started. In the times we're living in, no one is trying to stop your First Amendment right, but I think you owe it to the public to let them know that it's your viewpoint and not the viewpoint or the will of the board. I know some may have opposition against that, but think about if you're on the dissenting end, or if it's something that you have pushed forward, and a board member who has more followers than you get out and put out misinformation, it can slow progress down. The second thing I do want to also address is subsection D, the steps of how we're going to deal with this if any of these things are violated. If we don't have any ramifications in it at all, then my question is, why do we have it? Because what's the use of setting guidelines if this is how we're going to operate? And I get it, you can't unsee the board member because you didn't put them here. But there should be some sense of checks and balances. That is not tilted in one particular person's or one particular group's favor. because the pendulum always swings both ways. You may be in the majority today, but tomorrow you may be in the minority. So I think if we're going to have norms and protocols, this part should be back in it. But in closing, I do have a question, because Board Member Fields, you are a part of the Policy Review Committee. And I'm kind of concerned that policies are coming to the board, and it seems as if you have a lot of difference than what's being suggested. So the question that I'm going to ask unsolicited is, do you feel that you have an actual voice in the committee? Because let me finish. To me, it feels as if the committee writes a policy, suggests a policy, but then it's coming to the board, and it's like it's a whole policy is being reworked up. So that's a not valid question.
Thank you for that question, Board Member Riddick. I do feel that my voice in the PRC committee is marginalized. It is minimalized. There's a majority. It's a three-member committee, and the two members are always in lockstep, and my voice is not really heard there. That's why I'm that's why I'm trying to put it out in front of the entire board. Perhaps we can have some kind of discussion that will have some influence, have a greater impact than my voice seems to be having, because it doesn't seem to be having much effect at all. I do want to continue with the Policy Review Committee, but if my voice is going to be minimalized, I do want to bring these things to the board so that they can become a matter of record. And that's how I'm handling that.
Thanks, Board Member Riddick and Board Member Fields. Attorney Waller, to address one concern to Mr. Riddick, and I know we've discussed this both privately and in PRC, but when it comes to a board, it's inherently known that a board can censure another board member, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So there is checks and balances as a board without having norms and protocol. If another board member deems that a board member is out of order, or they should be publicly censured, correct?
That is also correct.
All right. Are there any other board members that would like to speak who haven't had a chance to speak yet to this ordinance? If not, and there's not a motion, I'm going to move on to the next ordinance in the sake of time and efficiency. Mr. Riddick?
I just want to follow up to the question that you asked Attorney Waller. So is the steps for censoring a board member detailedly outlaid as this is, as what it's going to be, how the chair is to act if the chair is the one that needs to be censored? Because what I don't want it to turn to is each school board meeting is a public crucifixion. So is there somewhere, and I'm asking because I got a lot in my brain right now, so I can't remember all of our policies. You know, it's a lot of books and documents, but is it somewhere where it's clearly explained step by step how to handle complaints and allegations and things of that sort, fact-finding and sharing of information?
Is that from you or Mr. Waller?
The attorney.
All right.
No, there is nothing in your policy other than what you have in front of you tonight that is being recommended to be removed that outlines a specific process for censoring a board member. The way that the censor would work normally is that a board member would simply bring a resolution of censure before the full board to request a vote.
And that's how it will work if we take that out. If we take Section D out, it goes before the full board.
That is correct.
Even if it's levied against the chair, it goes before the full board.
That's correct.
I don't think that's wise. I can see how this is going to be completely misused because this gives clear-cut parameters on how it's to be done. But for the sake of time, we can move forward.
Thank you. Items 10 and 11 are both information. Is there any discussion on those items? Being none, I'm going to move on to item number 12 that was added at the beginning of the meeting, and I'm going to turn the floor to Mr. Riddick for item 12 regarding the SAO office.
Okay. Thank you so much, Chair McGee and board members, for agreeing to add this as a discussion item on our agenda tonight. I had the privilege of attending last night's city council meeting, and I know some of you may have seen the news today on various platforms that states that the Riverbend project rezoning was denied, which included the non-cash proffer of the VDOT building that would have serviced as our school administrative office building, which would have got us out of a lease where our staff is in a dilapidated building that we're paying $500,000 a year to be in an inadequate facility. I have some concerns here because I cautioned this board, I believe it was last year or the year before. It's kind of hard to remember at this point. No, it was last year. I cautioned this board about turning over the properties at Driver Elementary School and turning over the property at Freeney Avenue because we need to explore other ways we could potentially use it. And that was our last opportunity to secure a facility. Once again, we went out on a limb. We turned over property. We was promised that if we turn this property over, we're going to get a new SAO. And last night, we got nothing. So we're going to be stuck in another lease. I get it. We made campaign promises. I get that the buildings were an eyesore, especially Driver. I fully understand. But I do want to make it known that the asbestos that people used and said why we couldn't repurpose the building, in order to tear the building down, they still had to abate the asbestos. So you paid to remove the substance that you said we couldn't use it because of, just to tear it down. And I understand there's two types of abatement, but the point is you still paid to remove something that you said we couldn't use it for. These buildings was never really in the facility study, so we really don't know what structural shape it was in. The Freeney Avenue site was, I want to believe, the same age, if not 2 years older or younger than the VDOT site, which would have been able to serve as a SAO, even if we would have had to split and divide some of our staff up. That would have got them out of the mess that they're in. So my question to this board is, where do we go from here? What is our steps forward? And I want to be clear, I don't want anybody to misrepresent my words and say he was Team Riverbend Project. That is not what I'm saying. I was excited about getting us out of the professional building because that's the same crap of excuse that we were given when we were in the hideous, ugly blue building that was behind the original courthouse on North Main Street when they tore that building down and moved us to the professional building. We're going to own it someday. And it's 2026 and we still don't own a professional building. And now we were saying we were going to get a new SAO, but you have to give me this first. And Dr. Gordon, I got to commend you because I remember at the joint meeting you said this is our last leverage. And the board voted against your wisdom and conversation to turn over these properties. And yes, I voted to turn over the property because at that time we said we want to keep a unified board. We all want to look good together. But I made it known how I felt after I realized that nobody wanted to really discuss on potential usage of salvaging the properties. Now we at a place where we have nothing, and we're going to be stuck in another lease, $500,000, and it may go up. So get ready for a hot summer and a freezing summer to those who work in the SAO, because that's the problem. So I just want to know what are our plans?
Before I turn to the board members, I'm going to ask Superintendent Dr. Gordon to speak.
Thank you, Mr. McGee, and thank you for your feedback, Mr. Riddick, because you're correct. That was a elongated conversation that we had at our several joint meetings. So to answer the first part of your question, I think realistically, we only have two choices. We have 32 more months left on our current lease that expires on December 31st, 2028, the professional building that Mr. Riddick was referring to. On average, a design work for a school administration office or a building that probably needs to be at a minimum of 40,000 square feet is typically about 9 months. Construction would be anywhere between 20 to 24 months. So we add both of those together, we're at 33 months, which means that we are officially at the deadline. And those were the things that we were talking about at our last joint meeting. So the way I'm looking at this, I think the two options that I will ask for the board to consider, option one, I believe, would be to reintroduce the conversation about the human resources building that is behind City Hall. As you all remember, we actually had extensive design work that was actually done there by RRMM, a 39,000 square foot building, 3 floors that was going to include a meeting space for our school board so that we wouldn't have to worry about any type of rental or scheduling issues that Ms. Gardner runs into when it comes to City Hall chamber. As we know, we gave up the renovation money, part of it, $6.5 million in order to do the John F. Kennedy Middle School project. Now, as we all know, at one of our joint meetings, there was discussions about now that City Hall is becoming overcrowded, that human resources building needs to be considered for overcrowding there. In actuality, we have, I think, one primary tenant in that building, and that is the registrar's office. Option two, which we actually discussed at the Education Committee meeting, was to expand the current operations center footprint is on 460. This building currently holds our food and nutritional services, print shop, communication, and community engagement. For those of you that may not have seen or took a look at the minutes from the Education Committee meeting, the conversation that basically was led was about having a 40,000 square foot building. And the question I asked is that 40,000 square feet that would be added on to the current footprint, which is a little over 20,000, or is that 40,000 square feet total? We believe, and our architect has only done preliminary work there, so that process will actually take a little bit longer. But we do believe that the footprint of the current operations center is big enough to create a 2-story building immediately attached to the current operations center footprint, while clearing out some additional space for parking, as we're probably going to need about 150 total parking spaces in order to make the plan work. So those would be the two options that I will present to the board, mainly because of the time limit that Mr. Riddick's referring to. December 31, 2028 is here, basically, when it comes to school construction or any type of construction projects for the school division. And we know that now is the time, especially because it's about to get hot, that Mr. Waller's office is going to be 84 degrees. Half of the 6th floor is going to be 81 degrees. And we also have had several other things that we've had to adjust based on to ensure that we were adhering to fire marshal code. And as you all know, we also had to split some staff that was originally at Booker T. Washington that is now in the Innovation Center at CCAP. So us being able to potentially have one of those two spaces, I think, is going to be the only options that we have due to our current time constraints.
Thank you for that, Dr. Gordon. Any other board member would like to speak to this? The only thing I would like to say, just council did vote to turn down Riverbend last night, but less than a year ago, this entire board had an option to tell council we supported Riverbend with that proffer of VDOT. We did not. We voted 7-0 to say we did not want that building the way it was being given to us, proposed to us with the Riverbend project. So in fairness to council, the last they heard from the board is we did not want it that way. So I just want to put that out there publicly.
Chair McGee.
Real fast. You know, this is a crisis. Anyone who's been in the professional building, you can tell it's old, it's outdated, it's stuffed, you know, they're out of space. It's not in great conditions. They have multiple issues with the building, leaks, HVAC issues. Something has to be done. I look at our city, it's a beautiful city. Council, you know, I really believe they have the best for our city at heart. We have a beautiful police headquarters. We have a beautiful brand new library being built, beautiful fire departments, beautiful maintenance operations centers. We need to continue that with our schools. This is the future of our city. Council, I really hope you hear my heart right now. We need a new facility. This city's growing, money's coming in. We need a building that represents the excellence of Suffolk. Go ahead, Mr. Riddick.
Thank you, Chair McGee. All of that sounds good and dandy, but I want to clarify this because I don't want my vote to be misrepresented. What I voted no to at our last meeting when this Riverbend project came up was I did not want the development that was being attached to receiving this as a proffer. I didn't want it. When I was chair, I said we need to halt development until we come up with a plan on how we're going to deal with the infrastructure. At the joint meeting, I proposed that we in the city get together and purchase the VDOT parcel so we can turn the VDOT building into the school administrative building and take the green space in the back and use it for leisure services for the public, which included a boat launch site. So that's what I proposed. That's what's on the record. That's why my vote was a no. We were never asked explicitly, would you accept the VDOT building as your SAO? Never. What we was asked, would you accept this as a non-cash proffer in addition to us rezoning this parcel of property to build X amount of homes? And then we were told that by right we can have another Breezeport project here, and we didn't want that. And that's what the board said no to. What I am saying is we have been playing this cat and mouse game for years, since I've been on the board and years before. The problems at the professional building are not new. It definitely didn't start in my 8 years of being on the board, definitely didn't start in the time that some of the city council members being on the board. We have to do something expediently. Dr. Gordon, I receive your 2 recommendations, but I also challenge you and the staff and other board members to come up with a 3rd. We have a lot of empty buildings here in Suffolk, warehouses, empty. That drug dealers are using them to hide drugs, but I'm gonna leave that alone. It was in the newspaper, I didn't quote it, I didn't make it up. So if we could have these vacant buildings, I'm certain that there's a building we can repurpose, that there can be some Virginia historic tax credits that we possibly can go after. You have the old Booker T High School, not Booker T Elementary, please don't get it confused. This is the one that's on Smith Street, that's not too far from the municipal building. The old Booker T High School that looked like the Thomas Jefferson Loss and Andrew J. Brown School, that could be repurposed and purchased and turned to school administrative offices. We have the B.D. Lattenberg building on West Washington Street sitting there that you possibly can go after. And that's why seeing this and knowing the game that has been played between council and the board for years is I recommended to the board that there was a property that was for sale on 58. It's the spa building next to the food line. It was for sale before all of the development happened, and they was only asking $800,000, and they was willing to do a payment plan, owner finance. I had no financial interest in it. I didn't know the owner. I just saw a for sale sign, and I reached out and asked. But I was scolded because I reached out to try to find a solution. What I'm asking our board members to do is not just sit back and wait for someone to solve our problem. Let's put our heads together as a board. Let's collaborate as a board and figure out how we're going to get our staff that we want to evaluate and hold them accountable for delivering differentiated instruction with pro-efficiency and excellence in a dilapidated building. You can't give excellent work in a structure that has a waterfall every time it rains. Or you come to work with a sweater because it's freezing. So I'm asking that the board, if we could put together, I don't know if we need a task force or a committee or something, but we really need to put skates on this, because otherwise we're casting our pearl amongst the swine to continue to pay $500,000 in a building that is inadequate.
Thank you, Mr. Riddick. Any other board members before we move on to item 13?
Board Chair McGee, I just have a quick question. I was wondering if Dr. Gordon could tell us if the Operations Center Phase 2 that would house this two-story building for the SAO office, if that blueprint or design has already been done.
No, see, the Phase 2 that was originally planned was going to be part of where Mr. Napier's team was going to expand for the warehouse. This will have to be a total new design, and this is primarily part of the reason why we asked our architect just to take a look at it and give us a new sketch, because if you remember, Ms. Slingler, we've actually now moved Mr. Napier's team out into Bright Lane, and this is the office space that was originally for his team is now being occupied by communications and community engagement. So we would have to have a totally new design in order to be able to accommodate the staff currently in the professional building.
Thank you, Dr. Warner.
I'm gonna try to be quiet. I just got to follow up.
In the sake of time, Mr. Riddick, I'm not being
It's
disrespectful.
1 minute, I promise you.
I understand that, but this has gone on, and we still have closed item sessions. If no one else who hasn't spoken yet has anything, we're going to go to item 13, and I think, Mr. Riddick, you'll be able to get it in under this because we're going to discuss in a joint meeting. Since this was your item, I'm going to start with you.
Okay, well, I slide it in there. Dr. Gordon, quick question. Since we're talking about joint meetings and finances as a portion of that, with the building that Mr. Napier's staff is that a building owned by Suffolk Public Schools or the City of Suffolk, or is that a liability that we're still paying money for?
That's actually a lease that the City of Suffolk pays. In the budget presentations they gave last night, you're correct about the professional building lease is over 500 and some thousand, while the lease for Bright Lane, I believe, is between 200,000 and 300,000.
Okay. So thank you, Chair McGee. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, I'm requesting that the board request a joint meeting, not a meeting where we come in and we be disrespectful to one another, well, us in the city, not a meeting where we come and just do nice pleasantries and you got 5 minutes to talk. We need to have a real think tank session. I know we have the education committee, but the reality of that is you need to have all of the board members in the room, not just 2 of the 4 newest board members in the room. You need to have all of the board members in the room, because there's institutional knowledge that board member Jenkins have that the 2 representatives, who, including the superintendent, who serve in the education committee don't have. And that's not slight to the superintendent, so don't mistake my words. That's not a slight to the 2 representatives. It's just fact. If you lived here and you're from here, you know the layout of the land, you know the promises, you know the backstory. So if you don't even want me there, you have board member Jenkins who also have that information. So I think if we can come to the table and have this conversation, we can do what's best for our taxpayers, because right now we're spending $700,000 to lease space. And if we want to move our budget where we can move forward with other infrastructural projects, we got to reduce some of our liabilities and generate some assets. I'm not a fan of moving SAO to 460 because that wasn't the idea for that. put the operation centers there. Let's actually complete some things that we done paid for and did studies and stuff on. Let's complete it. So I'm asking board members if we would consider requesting a joint meeting of City Council to discuss the following, and it's not limited to what I want to recommend, but it's to discuss the SAO and to discuss how we can take some of our liabilities off and create them as assets.
Thanks, Mr. Riddick. Attorney Waller, can I poll the board right now, or would a motion need to be made to see if there's a majority favorite for that?
Well, in that the board has convened, I think it would be most appropriate to have a motion and call for a vote.
Thank you, sir. Before a motion is introduced, is there any other discussion? Being none, is there a motion?
Chair, I move that the Suffolk City School Board request a joint meeting between the Suffolk City Council and the City of Suffolk Public Schools School Board to discuss items, but not limited to the following items. The SAO, School Administrative Office, and come in with a strategic plan to remove some of our liabilities, such as SAO maintenance center to where Mr. Napier's office is housed, to move those from liability to assets.
Second.
Ms. Gardner. Seconded by Board Member Jenkins.
No.
Oh, sorry, Board Member Fields. I stand corrected. Good. Can you read it, please?
Board Member Riddick moved, and it was seconded by Board Member Fields for Suffolk Public Schools to hold a joint meeting with Suffolk City Council regarding the following, but not limited to, the school administrative offices location for the school administrative offices, and a strategic plan to remove the liabilities of Suffolk Public Schools, not limited to Suffolk School Administrative Offices, SAO, and Facilities and Maintenance.
Any discussion? Being none, Madam Clerk.
Board members, please vote. Board Member Dr. Brittingham?
Yes.
Board Member Fields?
Yes.
Board Member Jenkins?
Yes.
Board Member Riddick?
Yes.
Board Member Slinglove?
Yes.
Vice Chair Howell?
Yes.
Board Chair McGee?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, that was our last item under new business. Moving on to public speakers on non-agenda topics.
It is the intent of the school board to ensure that the affairs of the board be conducted in an open and orderly manner, that all persons desiring to address the board are afforded an opportunity to do so in the order in which they signed up to speak, that persons in attendance may observe and hear the proceedings of the board without distraction, and that the members of the board and board employees are able to transact the business of the board with minimal disruption. Any persons addressing the board shall, 1, confine their comments to matters germane to services, policies, and affairs of the school board or Suffolk Public Schools. 2, refrain from words or statements which from their usual construction and common acceptance are construed as insults intended to incite violence or breach of the peace. 3, refrain from obscenity, vulgarity, or other breach of respect. 4, comply with the time limit for public comment as set by the board, which can be up to 5 minutes unless the board, through the exercise of its discretion, decides to allow less than 5 minutes for public comment. 5, refrain from cumulative or repetitive remarks. And 6, refrain from making any comments regarding any pending student discipline or employee grievance matters. The appropriate form for such matters is the applicable administrative hearing provided by state law or, where appropriate, court proceeding. Persons must not engage in disorderly, disruptive, or boisterous conduct, such as, but not limited to, making noise, use of profane language or obscene gestures, yelling, or similar demonstrations that interrupts or disturbs the peace and good order of the meeting. Persons addressing the board may deliver to the board or its clerk Written materials including reports, statements, exhibits, letters, or signed petitions, and may also make use of any chart or graph during their verbal presentation. The school board welcomes comments from the public as appropriate. Board members will listen to public comment but will not comment, deliberate, or take action on them. The school board chair may direct the superintendent to investigate items and report back to the school board at a subsequent meeting. The chair or other presiding officer shall preserve decorum and shall decide all questions of public order subject to appeal to the board. At the request of the chair, a city police officer shall act as sergeant-at-arms at tonight's board meeting. That officer shall, under the direction of the chair or other presiding officer, have charge of the meeting area, the waiting areas and corridors adjacent thereto, and shall prevent disorder or interruption of the business of the board. Our first speaker is Kenneth Madison regarding hiring decisions associated with the Suffolk News Herald article.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. My name's Ken Madison. My mother is Martha Bradford, and my father is Willie Madison, and I'm planning on attending college at Stillman College in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. What I got to say today for y'all is that you're really doing great work here. And a lot of times when I don't keep up with what's going on with the school board. And then I look at the newspaper and I'll see things like, okay, they hired this chief financial officer. Those type of people are hard to come by. And I really want to commend you for changing your mind about hiring the person, because it costs the school money, school board or school system money to bring on quality people. I also want to tell you that you don't get paid enough money for what you do. I saw that there's a issue, they're going to raise your pay for the position that you're holding and the work that you do. You don't get enough money for it. So it's like you're almost volunteering, and it's a terrible thing to be volunteering to do something and to have a bad relationship with people that you're volunteering to work with. Doesn't make any sense. But I want to commend you with the superintendent being selected as Superintendent of the Year for Region 2, with the passing of the budget. Tremendous. Then I read this article that said that all of the schools are accredited. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm a novice at this. I don't have any children in the school system now, but I've lived in the area for 25 years. I'm a retired military officer. I have not regretted one day of living in the city of Suffolk because of you, the school board, and the city council. I want to thank you all for allowing me this time to speak. And when you want to hear somebody to give some good news about you, give me a phone call. Thank you.
Our next speaker, Jonathan Creekmer, regarding volunteer policy.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jonathan Creekmer. I'm a parent of two Suffolk Public Schools students who both attend Florence Bowser Elementary School. Both of my kids are in the same third grade class, and recently I had a concern which led me here to address this board. For transparency purposes, I would like to state that I have gone through all appropriate channels. Before requesting to speak to this board, my wife and I emailed the teacher, we communicated with Principal Dr. Taylor, and we still have concerns that have not been addressed. In the month of March, before spring break, we were informed that the classroom had 2 visitors during instructional time. These visitors were classified by the school as volunteers. One was a parent, and the other was allegedly the son of that parent, who is a student of Suffolk Public Schools. We reached out to the teacher to gain clarity on why a student from a neighboring middle school was permitted to present and interact with other students in the classroom during instructional time. The teacher only addressed this issue by verifying that all protocols were followed in allowing this student to enter the classroom. But we followed up asking how a child who is not a Florence Bowser Elementary school student, how they were permitted to be present during instructional time and to what capacity. Principal Dr. Taylor, who was also on the email thread, then responded that, and this is her quote, "The parent and student were both cleared through the Raptor system and followed the proper protocol for volunteering." Still not completely satisfied with the response, I asked, what is Suffolk Public Schools' policy on school-age students who are not enrolled in the school being present and interacting with students in the building during normal school operational hours? To what capacity was this child volunteering, or was the older student, which is the so-called volunteer, just accompanying their parent? Dr. Taylor responded with a link that included the volunteer policy. And she also stated, Raptor is the system that SPS has approved for clearing volunteers. The volunteers present were cleared through Raptor to volunteer. I asked again for clarification about the capacity in which that child was volunteering. She responded, regarding the student volunteer's eligibility, SPS policy explicitly states that currently enrolled Suffolk Public School students may volunteer in our district under the supervision of a district employee. The student's role was strictly limited to non-instructional support, which allowed the teacher to focus on the instructional task of evaluating student accuracy for progress. This still left me with unanswered questions. When I reviewed the SPS volunteer policy, I noticed a contradiction. While it states that you must be 18 years old or older to volunteer, it also states that currently enrolled Suffolk Public School students may volunteer in our district under the supervision of a district employee. Older students interacting with younger students at SPS can be extremely beneficial to school because it provides the school with opportunities to facilitate programs that can impart knowledge and experience to one another. However, in this case, my children's classroom, I do not believe that the student in question was volunteering or even there in a sanctioned capacity. I was not, and I am not comfortable with any student being admitted into a third grade classroom without sponsored supervision or without an identified goal of service to the school or the class. I'm also not comfortable with the fact that I wasn't notified by any school official and was informed of this by students in the classroom. As a parent, I would love to feel that I'm sending my children into a safe environment that is focused on teaching and learning that will enhance their academic endeavors, allowing people in the classroom that are not there to volunteer or provide any enriching opportunities, allow for distractions, safety issues, and possibilities of things that are not aligned to local and state standards. Because of these factors, I'm requesting that someone investigate this concern, return with the answer to my original question: what capacity was this student volunteering in the classroom? I'm also calling on the board to review the volunteer guidelines for those under 18 and to close that loophole that was jumped through to justify this student's presence during instructional time. Do I need to stop? I have like 2 more minutes. About 30 more seconds.
Mr. Creekmore, I appreciate that. Yes, per our policy, you have 5 minutes.
Okay.
But Madam Clerk, before we move on to the next speaker, Dr. Gordon, I'm going to ask that you do a full investigation and report back to the board your findings of all the concerns stated by Mr. Creekmore tonight.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good evening.
You too. Moving on, we'll get Madam Clerk.
Our next speaker, Valerie Boykin, regarding school board operations.
Chair McGee, Vice Chair Howell, board members, and Dr. Gordon, good evening. I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and also a member of the National Council of Negro Women, but I come to you tonight as president of the NAACP Suffolk Nansemond branch. The NAACP, the oldest civil rights organization in the United States, envisions that we live in an inclusive community rooted in liberation where all persons can exercise their civil and human rights without discrimination. We come to you this evening to share some of our ongoing concerns. A few specific areas of concern include the ongoing dissension that is displayed on this dais on a regular basis. We can only imagine what goes on behind closed doors. We've heard some of you speak about retreats that you've had in other venues where you have come to a better understanding of one another and perhaps your roles, yet we see discord play out in full view during these meetings. We believe this could have a detrimental impact on the operations of the school system and thus the education of Suffolk students. A recent example would be the decision before it was reversed to not approve the administration's selection of the chief financial officer. We believe this position is critical to a well-functioning organization, especially one the size of SPS, and especially when going through a forensic audit. Whose decision is it anyway to hire staff? By the way, based on what we've seen and heard, we do not believe that the forensic audit is necessary, and given the budget situation that we heard at the City Council meeting last evening and the shortfall that SPS is about to incur, that spending over $100,000 could have been better spent elsewhere. It is also concerning that you want an in-depth audit, yet 2 board members continue on a monthly basis, including tonight, to not approve payment of SPS bills. How responsible is that, and how fiscally sound is that? We continue our concerns about earlier decisions to suspend the DEI policy, major editing of the transgender policy, and your disapproval of graduation credits for the African American Studies curriculum. We encourage that it sounds like from tonight's conversation you might be revisiting the latter. But we remind you and others that your transgender policy changes remove support for mental health professionals to receive training on how to better serve the LGBTQ+ students. Is this equity? When you don't prepare yourselves and your staff to address any issues that come up for our children, we don't believe that's equity. We pray that those youth have no needs such as specialized resources that we won't be prepared to provide. We pray for equity for all youth, and we pray that you will find ways to come together in the spirit of harmony, collective learning, and collaboration to make the best decisions for our youth and the faculty. We are watching. We're also here to assist as needed. We're asking on behalf of the students, families, educators, and community members, and if I might borrow the words from the late Rodney King, can't we all just get along? Also, we need you to do better, and we know that you can. Thank you for your time.
Our final speaker is Dwight James regarding school board priorities.
Thank you. All right, before I start, I did hear you guys talk about the building that you guys are in. I've actually sold a lot of commercial property, residential property, and I'm sure there's a lease in place for where you guys are at, and I'm sure if they're not taking care of the building that you guys could stop paying them until they take care of those repairs. So I just urge you guys to look into that, because I'm sure there's something in there, or a clause or something that would tell you guys, hey, you don't have to pay if it's not habitable. I've never heard somebody paying $500,000 for something that's not even habitable if you guys are saying it's raining in there. So to get started my speech, I want to say good evening. I first want to congratulate Chairman Sean McGee on stepping into his role in leadership, and I hope the board moves forward with unity and purpose. There has been moments in the past where we needed to get something done, and that did not happen. I'm hoping under new leadership, we see a different outcome. Our kids cannot afford delays, distractions, or missed opportunities. I come to the podium today wearing multiple hats: a parent first, a Suffolk Public School head coach, a mentor, and a business owner of the new Golden Lux Arena skating rink, where I see the kids outside of your classrooms. So I'm not speaking from a distance, but I'm speaking from real experience. What I hear from these kids is simple: they need support. I hear it all the time. My mom knows I do this. My dad knows I do that. That tells me everything I need to know. But we keep trying to fix the child without fixing the full picture. We have mentorship programs, we have outreach programs, and we have already have parent engagement programs in place. There are resources, workshops, and support systems available, but let's be honest, those are optional. And optional does not fix consistent problems. If a student is repeatedly having issues, parent engagement should not be a suggestion. It should be structured and required as part of the solution. What I'm proposing is not starting from scratch, it's strengthening what already exists. Taking those same programs and tying them directly to a student outcome. If there are repeated behavior issues, there should be required parent participation, clear expectation, follow-ups, and accountability on both sides, because we cannot keep investing in a child and ignoring the environment they go home to. No program can outwork what a child sees every day at home. We also need school board and city council on the same page. Our kids deserve a working partnership, not disconnect. At the end of the day, this is about the kids, nothing else. I don't care if you like the person sitting next to you right now. That's not why you're here. You are here to make decisions that are in the best interest of our kids' future. And if you cannot put our kids first, if personal issues are getting in the way of the progress, if you cannot make the board meetings on time, then step aside and let somebody else take your place, because this is bigger than any of you. At the same time, we're asking more from our teachers. We need to support them properly. This board should be putting forward a budget that prioritizes teachers' pay and retention. We cannot expect better outcomes while underpaying the people doing the work for us every day. And lastly, accountability and trust. We are seeing situations where things end up in court, whether it's over transparency or internal actions. That tells us that something is off here. When people feel like they have to go to court just to be heard, that is a problem. We should not be operating like that. We need transparency, we need professionalism, and we need alignment. Because when there's division at the top, it shows up in the classrooms and it shows up in our community. This is about doing the right thing for our kids. Thank you.
Thank you to all our speakers tonight. Moving on to business by board members, I'm going to start to my left with Board Member Fields. Just want to say to my colleagues, please be cognizant of time. It's almost 9 o'clock, and we still have closed session items to deal with tonight. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you to all of the people who are making a difference in Suffolk Public Schools. Everybody who came, appeared on the Good News Report. There's so many congratulations to give out. There's not enough time for it all, and I understand that. And I'm not going to try to, although I have it written down, I'm not going to try to read through all of it, but congratulations to all of you. This week, during this session, during the break, I did get a chance to go to a competition that was held at Kings Fork Middle School, where I saw, it was called the SBS Future Builders Cup. The kids were engaged in STEM activities that were just so impressive. Two of my other board members were there, so I'm going to leave some of it for them to tell you about it. But that's the kind of thing that we need to be doing for and with our kids. It was so impressive. I want to tell you also that last night I went to Northern Shores Elementary. They had a bingo pizza night. It was fabulous. I would like to thank Kirsten O'Neill, who's the PTA president, and her team for putting that program together. That event was well attended. There was high energy there from the start to the finish, and they had high value prizes. I played bingo, and I wanted to win one of those prizes. I wasn't trying to get the kids to win it. I was trying to win, but I didn't. But one of the kids won the one that I really want, which was a Great Wolf Lodge package. It was high value prizes there, but every kid went out of there a winner because they made sure that everybody got a prize. That was really impressive. The excitement was over the moon. I just want to say we need more of that kind of interaction. The families it was very well attended. The families were there. We need that. We need to draw our parents and our kids in that manner. And I think that we have the potential to do that because we have a superintendent who is student-focused, who has gotten awards for being student-focused. We have a board who is hopefully moving in the direction of student achievement. what we need to accomplish with our students is possible if we continue to move positively into the future, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Thank you. With that, I will say good evening.
Thank you, Board Member Fields. Board Member Jenkins.
Thank you, Chair McGee. Really quick, I just want to say I would like to take a moment to center us on why we are here. Our mission, our passion, our priority must always be what is best for our students. That means ensuring safety first, delivering first-class education, and committing to having the very best teachers in every classroom, and we do. It also means making sure that our teachers know that they are priority, valued, supported, and provided with the environment where they feel safe, respected, and empowered to help every child grow and excel. Our responsibility extends beyond academics. We are here to nurture and full potential of every student, whether the magic shows up in the classroom, on the fields, on the stage, through music, debate, or countless other opportunities that shape who they become. Now, it's clear that we do not always agree on everything, and that is okay. In fact, it is expected. But what we must remain constant in our shared commitment is to doing what is best for Suffolk Public Schools and for everyone who plays even the smallest role in its success. To all of you, the staff, families, and community members, I want you to know that I appreciate you. And since our last meeting, I have had the privilege of going to schools and going to a lot of events where some of the board members was there also, and we just love what we see that's being put out from our students and from our staff and from our families. We love to see our families engaged as well. So as I close, I want to say that trying to silence voices is ineffective when those voices can still be heard, and trying to shut people out is meaningless when they are capable of creating their own doors. So let us choose unity, respect, and purpose as we move forward together. Have a good rest of your week and weekend.
Thank you, Board Member Jenkins. Dr. Brittenham.
Thank you, Board Chair. I just want to congratulate all of our students that came in tonight and start with the honor grads. Really excited to listen to what the future holds for them and the potential that we have 250 now, but 275 is what we're looking at is just amazing. I want to also congratulate the students that were part of the Battle of the Books. I really appreciate seeing their love of learning and reading come together, and that they made that final competition. That's something to be really proud of. Being well read is what leads to deepening your education and being able to bring ideas together as you step into adulthood. So keep reading those books. I also want to congratulate the Teacher Cadet Program once again, just doing a fabulous job with those students, and the fact that they made it to first place in the state competition, not surprised. Excellent program, and that they're advancing to nationals yet again. Just a wonderful, wonderful program. So I thank my fellow board members for a productive evening, and with that, I'll say good night.
Thank you, Dr. Brittenham. Board Member Riddick.
I will keep my remarks brief. I would just like to say thank you to the citizens of the historic Suffolk Borough who continue to give me their support as I endeavor to represent them in school board meetings and outside of school board meetings, having those tough conversations on things that, you know, a lot of people may run from. It is truly rewarding this time of year when you get to see your return on investment, when you see the honor students come in and they share their hopes and plans and goals, and you get to see the parents as first teachers come in and support their child. It makes it all worthwhile. It makes dealing with the negative press, the opportunists who want to piggyback off of other people's challenges or whatnot. It makes it all worthwhile when you see those students come in And it's a buildup of momentum until we get to our graduation day and you see the tears and the hugs. And I always sneak off and go into the graduation room and see the students having to put back on their makeup because they hugged their teacher who made a difference in their life. One thing I learned at VSBA was school is not for everyone, but school has to have something in it for everyone. And that's what we do here at Suffolk City Public Schools, be it band, FBLA, DECA, baseball, football, cheer, debate, Future Teachers of America, or just your friends, or just that teacher. It's remarkable that we're still able to continue to move forward. Just like my colleague, Board Member Jenkins said, yes, humans disagree. To err is human. To forgive is divine. And it's a blessing that we can still have our moments, but come back together and get the job done. That's what makes us great as people and make us great as Americans. So in closing, I just want to say Dr. Gordon's staff, and all of those who had a direct hand in our school being fully accredited. Again, under the revised standard, we say thank you to those community partners who was in it with us for the long haul, who've been there on ground zero over 12 months. We appreciate you because we can't succeed without you. It takes a village to raise a child. Whether we agree or not on how we're gonna do it, it takes a village. Thank you, and you all have a wonderful evening and be safe.
Thank you, Mr. Riddick. Board Member Slingloff.
Thank you. I'm going to yield my time tonight for the sake of time, but before I do, I just want to thank everyone who came from the city, not from the city, but our citizens within the city of Suffolk for coming and participating in our meeting tonight. It was lovely looking out and seeing a crowd of people, and I welcome you all back every month, so please don't stay away. It's nice to have a crowd in the audience. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Chair Howell.
Good evening. I want to take this second to congratulate the River graduates. I'm thankful that Chair McGee, I couldn't find my words in that moment. I'm the mama of a 26 graduate coming up soon, and it is exciting. I might be doing it wrong, though, because it's also a little bit sad and heavy for me, and so it just hit home when the graduates came in, and I'm a Warrior graduate myself, but I do congratulate those graduates, and I would just say take this excitement and this free and light feeling you feel and pocket it, because there will be a hill, and you will climb it, and you'll get to the end of that hill just as you have the past 4 years. And to the mamas out there of the 26 graduates, I just hold you close, and I pray that you feel more excited than you do nostalgic and sad. Thank you to my colleagues for communicating this evening, and thank you always to our SPS family for showing up and getting it done.
Thank you, Vice Chair Howell. And again, my apologies for skipping you during the comments for the undergrads.
It worked out perfect.
I have no comments tonight. I'm going to yield my time as well for the sake of time. With that being said, we're going to be moving on to closed meeting. A motion is needed.
A motion is needed to go into a closed meeting to discuss the following item and subject pursuant to the Virginia Freedom of Information Act found in Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711, Record Review 2025-26 10RR regarding the assignment of a student to Turlington Woods School, where the discussion in an open meeting would involve disclosure of information contained in the student's scholastic record, which is authorized by the Virginia Freedom of Information Act found at Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A2.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Board Member Riddick, I believe seconded by Board Member Slingloff. Any discussion? Madam Clerk.
Board members, please vote. Board Member Dr. Brittingham?
Yes.
Board Member Fields?
Yes.
Board Member Jenkins?
Yes.
Board Member Riddick?
Yes.
Board Member Slingleff?
Yes.
Vice Chair Howell?
Yes.
Board Chair McGee?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, we're going to move to closed session. Just a reminder, board members, only your school laptops allowed, the only electronic item allowed.
Thank you. A resolution of certification of the closed meeting of April 16, 2026 pursuant to Section 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia, whereas the School Board of the City of Suffolk convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act. And whereas Section 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by the school board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the School Board of the City of Suffolk hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, number one, only business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this resolution of certification applies. And number two, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered by the school board of the City of Suffolk.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Who moved and second?
Motion was made by Dr. Brittenham, seconded by Board Member Jenkins.
Board members, please vote. Board Member Dr. Brittingham?
Yes.
Board Member Fields?
Yes.
Board Member Jenkins?
Yes.
Board Member Riddick?
Yes.
Board Member Slinglove?
Yes.
Board Chair McGee?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, action on closed meeting. Is there a motion?
Board Chair McGee, I move that we uphold the student records review recommendations.
Second.
Motion was made by Dr. Brittenham. I believe Board Member Slinglove and Board Member Jenkins duly seconded. Any discussion? Being none, Madam Clerk.
Board members, please vote. Board Member Dr. Brittingham?
Yes.
Board Member Fields?
Yes.
Board Member Jenkins?
Yes.
Board Member Riddick?
Yes.
Board Member Slinglove?
Yes.
Board Chair McGee?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, the remainder items are informational items. However, I did want to pay our condolences to 3 SPS members, Louise Bagley, Ruth Harrell, and Keith Stagg, who all passed away. So condolences to their families. You guys are in our thoughts and prayers. Thank you for your service to SPS. And with that being said, you guys have a great night. This meeting is adjourned.